These days, you can buy more things in more places than ever before. You'd think that would make things simpler.
I'd like a venti quad cappuccino.
But it just makes it more complicated. That's why at Grange, we still sell our auto insurance through independent agents. It's a far smoother process than buying from a stranger over some 1-800 line. It's good to know what you're buying and who you're buying it from.
Your partner in protection.
The football programs at Moeller and St. Xavier High Schools in Cincinnati are two of the best in the nation. Combined, they have 18 Ohio Regional Playoff Championships and 9 state titles. Coming up, it's a matchup of two of the very best football traditions ever.
We are the Moeller Crusaders, and we approve this message. And we are the St. X Bombers, and we approve this message.
Welcome to High School Football Live, presented by Grange Insurance.
It's the final weekend of the high school football season, and the playoffs are looming. It's fitting that it's come down to this. Old GCL rivals tonight, the Moeller Crusaders, the St. Xavier Bombers from St. X. It is high school football on Fox Sports Ohio. Hi again, everyone. It's High School Football Live, presented by Grange Insurance. I'm Jim Day, sitting in the chair tonight for Jeff McCoy alongside Dave Lapham Jr. Playoffs are on the line. We are going to break down the playoff scenarios here in just a moment, but first, could be the final night that St. X hits the field as defending state champions. And boy, that's a legacy that for a year you hold on to, and those kids love it. It's special.
It is. You know, and last year when they won the title, they came out as a favorite. Right off the bat, everybody was gunning for them, shooting for them. And, you know, they went out and proved it on the field, had a great run. And I know it means a lot to those kids and their coaching staff. And let's hear what they had to say about that great title run last year.
It was an unreal experience, something I'll never forget and hold with me the rest of my life.
Oh, it was amazing. There was a bunch of people there. It was a cold day, snowing. We came out and shut them out, so it was a big day. I'm going to hold that forever with me as long as I live.
It was unbelievable. It was a great experience. I'll never forget it. It'll stay with me the rest of my life.
The last win, it was almost a collective sigh of relief. We knew going into the season we had a great group of kids, a very talented group. And I think after the final second went off, it was a collective sigh. We did it. We accomplished every goal we had set, as the kids set for themselves, we set as a staff. It was a heck of an accomplishment.
The topics. Yeah, you guys know about Boston.
And there you see the headband for St. X getting them ready. He is Steve Specht, and the defending state champions, perhaps a shot at the playoffs tonight, and we are going to find out more about that right now as we welcome in. It is our Cincinnati.com segment, and we welcome in Tom Gresham. Of course, you can read him in the Cincinnati Enquirer. I'm sure he's got the calculator out, been punching all these numbers. We had a game today. What is the scenario? Is it winner is in, loser goes home?
Yes, exactly that. Don Bosco of New Jersey won its game today. The short version is Sycamore is out, and the winner of this game will get that final 8th spot.
Wow, that is something right there.
And by getting that 8th spot, they get rewarded by
going to Coleraine next week. Yes, next Saturday at 7 o'clock in the first round game.
And that could be, in one instance, a rematch of Week 1 if St. X happens to win and go to Coleraine, right, Tom?
Right. 13-8 Coleraine, of course, in the season opener. And, you know, when they play, you really don't know who's going to win. It truly is a could-go-either-way type game. And I'm sure Coleraine doesn't want to see either of these teams really on their schedule next week. Obviously.
What type of game do you think is going to unfold tonight? You've been around both of these programs. Obviously, they are big-name programs. How are they going to match up tonight?
I just mentioned to one of the coaches from Moeller, I don't think it's going to be 48-45, certainly, the way they both play defense. So I would expect St. Xavier likes to run the ball, get control of the game that way, and their defense has been so stout. Nobody has scored on them all year, but then again, they have not scored much themselves, haven't topped 17 points in a game all year. Moeller, they can score a lot, so we'll see. I expect a low-scoring game, put it that way.
And Tom, are the rest of the seeds all set for the playoffs? Is everybody kind of set up matchup-wise?
Yeah, in fact, if you let me look, I'm going to have to literally look at the paper here and see who we got. We've got, you're talking about Division I mainly. Coleraine, of course, will be #1 seed. And I don't know if I have that all here, but the main thing is the winner of this game, thanks. Some of this stuff is just new and updated.
Well, the computer systems, when they came out, it's not easy as win or loss. It's computer points.
Fairmont will go to Northmont. Centerville will play at Elder. And Woodward will go to Huber Heights Wayne. That's your first round matchups.
Wow. You've seen these teams, your predictions for teams that are going to be in the regional final?
Well, at first blush, you would say Coleraine Elder, and I don't see anything to change that really right now. I mean, speaking of Elder, they beat both St. X and Moeller, for instance. So, you know, on paper, that's how it'll shake out. But you can't really say for sure in this region with these two teams out here tonight. They could go a long way too. We just, you know, we'll see.
All right, tell us about some of the lower divisions. Is there a state champion in this region?
I think, to me, Anderson, of course, in Division II won it last year, and they're playing very well right now. Winton Woods is a team that's doing extremely well this season. This is the deepest, best team that they have had. One of those two, I think, could do it. And in Division V, I think Cincinnati Hills Christian Academy, unbeaten, state runner-up a few years ago. I think they might have the best shot of those lower division teams to win a state title.
It's our high school insiders segment. He's Tom Gresham. You can Gresham. I put an M on the end of your name.
Close enough.
Sorry very much. Give me some fists there, Tom.
All right. Most people say it Grosjean, so you're ahead of the game right there.
I put the M on there. It's horrible. You can read him on Cincinnati.com, of course, the Cincinnati Enquirer. He is your high school insider. We appreciate your time, and I know that you love games like tonight. This is what it's all about. All right, let's check out what the Moeller Crusaders have done this season. And Dave, it's kind of been up and down, but when you play the schedule that the Moellers and the St. X's play, you know that it's going to be a tough road to hoe.
And it is. It's been, you know, a lot of these games could have gone either way, and Moeller's been in a fight, and as you mentioned, it's been a tough schedule for them. They pulled out a huge win against St. Edwards last week to keep themselves in line for the playoffs. The last-second win, and you know, it really sets them up with some momentum going in here tonight.
Well, you don't know. It can happen. I wasn't thinking a kick return, but I was certainly thinking that, okay, one timeout, what's my one pass play I can use to get me to at least 30 or 40?
Before the kick return happened, one of the Moeller alumni said to Tony he needs to run it back to win the game, and sure enough he did. And it was probably the greatest moment I've had in my football career. It was one of the most exciting things that I've ever been a part of.
Then all of a sudden see Tony run it back, and then I started thinking when he ran it back, I was like, oh my God, we're out of time. If he gets pushed out of bounds, I'm not even going to get a chance. And all of a sudden he took it to the house, and I was just looking for flags. So it was probably about 10 minutes after he kicked it that I realized we won, you know. So many things were going through my head.
Momentary. Tony Harris will never forget. How about that, to set that up? Moeller was down in the final seconds of the game against St. Ed's, and they didn't squib kick it. They kicked it to Tony Harris. He returned it to the house to keep their season alive.
4 lean changes in the fourth quarter, and Tony Harris, their big playmaker, comes through in the end. And you know, he's a guy who's leading the GCL in receiving, as you saw, over 700 yards, and they've got to get him touches tonight. He's a guy that can literally, as you saw last week, you know, 15 seconds left, he gets the kickoff, he takes it back to a touchdown. Moeller's still in it for the playoffs, and you know, tonight again, he's a guy, he plays out wide, but they're going to have to get him the ball. Kickoff returns, maybe he has 10 carries on the season, maybe reverses. Any way you can get his hands on the football, he's a game changer.
That is something to remember for the rest of your life, returning the kickoff in the final seconds for a win. All right, on the other side, they've had a bullseye on their back all season long. When you're the defending state champions, everyone is after St. X.
Man, and their schedule is brutal. The only teams in Cincinnati they played are the GCL and Coleraine. That's pretty daunting. And the Prattville team they beat in week 2 has only given up 33 points this year, 15 to St. X. They're 7-1 now. And as we heard, according to the Bosco win tonight, that puts St. X in a position where if they win, they're in. Had a tough loss against Ignatius last week, and you know, they're a team. Any given week, I wouldn't want to see him in the first round of the playoffs.
In the land of computer points, it's all about competition now and who you play, and you see all those L's, you can still have losses and make it to the playoffs. Nevin Hurd is a running back for St. X, steady performer.
He is. He had a big week a couple weeks ago against St. Ed. You see him running the ball there against them, 144 yards. That gives him 605 on the season. And he's a guy they're going to need to take the pressure off the St. X tonight. Their focus, their game plan, they want to control the ball, control time of possession, and really they want to win it with their defense and with their special teams. They have a great defense. They want to control the game with their defense, control the ball, and Nevin Hurd's going to be a big part of that game plan for him. He's going to have to grind it out.
We're just getting started. It is do or die time. Winner in, loser goes home. More to come on High School Football Live, presented by Grange Insurance. We're back at St. X after this.
Days you can buy more things in more places than ever before. You'd think that would make things simpler.
I'd like a venti quad cappuccino.
But it just makes it more complicated. That's why at Grange, we still sell our auto insurance through independent agents. It's a far smoother process than buying from a stranger over some 1-800 line. It's good to know what you're buying and who you're buying it from.
Your partner in protection.
High School Football Live on FSN Ohio is brought to you by Grange Insurance. Find a Grange agent at grangeinsurance.com for your auto, home, business, or life insurance needs. And by your Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Toyota dealers.
We are back in Cincinnati. There you see the Moeller Crusaders, the visitors tonight. Winner gets in. St. X and Moeller coming up on Fox Sports Ohio. It is High School Football Live, presented by Grange Insurance. My pleasure to welcome in, an old friend. He is Dr. Timothy Krimchek, not only the Reds medical director, but of course here with Beacon Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. You have a long history with Moeller. They are in your heart. They are in your blood. Some people would think that you have to be here, but you don't. You want to be here.
I want to be here. Moeller, the medical coverage of Moeller started 35, 37 years ago with my father, and I remember standing on the sidelines with him as a little boy and following the Crusaders and Jerry Faust and a state championship. So Moeller High School is near and dear to all my entire family and myself.
Well, Pops taught you how to dress for a football game. You are ready to rock. You've got the Beacon Orthopedics and Sports Medicine logo. Can we get that on there?
Let me tell you something. Style is second to comfort when it comes to covering a football game.
No question about it. It's a little bit chilly out here. Fantastic facilities here at St. X, as well as Moeller. Tremendous in the GCL. The schools involved, the academics, and the facilities are second to none. And you look back at the history, and on the Hall of Fame wall, and Moeller High School is one Father Dr. Ed, father of you, and has to be your hero.
No question. My father was the most important thing in my life, and I'm where I am today because of him, for what he did, what he taught me, how he lived his life, and what Moeller High School meant to him, and vice versa. And again, it's been a part of Moeller High School since I was a little boy, and to see him in a Hall of Fame wanted me to want to give back to Moeller High School in his name and for our family and for all the kids that go here. I mean, again, I don't have to be here. I want to be here. I enjoy Moeller High School. I love the school. I love the kids. I love the people that are involved, the family, and there's no greater thing than standing on a sideline. So a football game, basketball, I don't care what the event is at Moeller High School. It's in my blood, and I'll do it for the rest of my career.
Well, proof of giving back is the Krimchek Family Training Center, and you have to be very proud of this.
I am very proud of this. It took a lot of years in coming, and we named it basically after my father, but put our name on it, and to develop a training center for our athletes, to have our athletic trainers take care of our kids that are hurt in all sports at Moeller High School. And again, it's been a long time coming, but we wanted to be on par with any other training facility in the region. They've done it with Faust Field, now our training center, and next to the O'Connor Center, where they've got all of the weight training facility. It's no question, it's first class, and I'm very, very, very proud of this.
Got to be cool that Moeller wins, they get in.
Why don't you come on over and work out?
You kidding me? Have you seen my midsection lately?
That's what I'm saying. Why don't you come over and work out?
I'm going to have to do that because it looks like a cool place. Doc, thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you, and go Crusaders.
All right, thanks a lot. That is Dr. Timothy Krimchek, Beacon Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. All right, we're not done with our Moeller guests. Let's go to the sideline. Dave Lapham, Jr.
Thanks, Jim. Talk a little Moeller High School in Montgomery, Ohio. The blue and gold of the Crusaders, 939 student enrollment. And We're joined now by Principal Blaine Collison. And Blaine, this is your 6th year on the job, and I'm sure after 6 years you're pretty well accustomed to the traditions of Moeller High School.
Very much so, Dave. It's been great, and this is one of the big traditions, Moeller St. X, and tonight there's a lot of playoff implications on the line, so certainly a big game for us and for them as well.
And one of the new additions to Moeller is the Jerry Faust Athletic Complex. You guys have to be proud of that. I got a first-hand opportunity to check it out this summer, and it's a great facility.
It's a great facility for our student athletes and really for all of our student body as we use it for intramurals, physical education classes, just a myriad of things other than obviously football, but also lacrosse, soccer, track and field. So it's a wonderful complex. It was 3 years in the making, but just a wonderful addition to our campus and really a benefit health and safety-wise for our student athletes as well.
Well, off athletics, you guys also have great traditions academically, and you've been on the front end of technology with the laptop program for a while now.
We have, and that's one of the things we really stress. We believe that, in order to be relevant for students today as 21st century learners, our laptop and our tablet PC program is just an outstanding way to help them prepare for college and really for the business world that they're going to face in a 21st century economy and global kind of world that we live in today. And so having access 24/7 is really unique, as most schools have computer labs and computer technology. Ours is a system where they have it at their ready. It's a one-to-one format, so they always have that computer whenever they need to do it at home with research projects, those kind of things outside of school as well.
And real quick, the community aspect of school, you guys now have a house system you involve to really get that culture and community that you're looking for.
Yeah, and we focus on the 3 R's, rigor, relevance, and relationships, and that third one's is big. That third one is a really big R, and the relationship part of what kids do when they come into Moeller. Most schools have a vertical system where they have seniors, juniors, sophomores, and freshmen. We now have a horizontal system for the last 4 years where those young men come in, are tutored, really tutored and kind of taken under the wings by the upperclassmen. They help them a great deal in transitioning from elementary school, but also just in being a leader, community service, and lots of aspects through the school. So our younger guys feel good about that. They feel like they're a part of the Moeller family right from the very first start, and it's been a really good plus for us over the last 4 years.
That sounds like a great opportunity for freshmen to get accustomed to high school and for upperclassmen to really take hold of that leadership role. And Blaine, thanks a lot for joining us tonight. Best of luck. Big ball game.
Need it. Thank you very much, Dave. It's been great. We'll need the luck.
All right, back to you, Jim.
Dave, thank you very much. The excitement is picking up here at St. X. The winner is in. The Bombers have a chance to get in the playoffs and defend their state title. We're back with a very special guest from St. X after this.
High School Football Live on FSN Ohio is brought to you by Grange Insurance. Find an agent near you at grangeinsurance.com for your auto, home, business, or life insurance needs. And by Beacon Orthopedic. Beacon has opened its 3rd office in Batesville, Indiana. Weekday and weekend sports injury clinic appointments are available by calling 513-354-3700. Toll-free number from Indiana, call 1-888-773-4353.
We are back at St. X, Cincinnati. It has come down to this. St. X and the Moeller Crusaders. The winner gets in the playoffs. The loser goes home. It is High School Football Live presented by Grange Insurance. And there you see part of the great facilities here at St. X. And throughout the GCL, you're going to see this, the great facilities. Of course, St. X located in Cincinnati, Ohio. The nickname are the Bombers. Blue and white are their colors. They will wear dark blue tonight. And, of course, in the GCL South, you see the enrollment principal and AD here at a very fine Cincinnati private school. Jim Day back with you. My pleasure to welcome in Mike Daring, class of '88 here at St. Xavier. He's also the cross-country coach, the assistant admissions director, and first of all, I got to start with the cross-country, English teacher as well, but cross-country, you made the States this morning, correct?
Yes, it's very exciting. It's our 23rd time in 24 years, and the kids just ran exceptionally well, so we can't be happier.
And the swim team excelled this year.
Well, as always, our swim team is excellent. But as far as our fall sports are going,
golf.
It's really been a phenomenal fall season for us. Soccer just won, so they'll be advancing to the regional semifinals, and golf won their 3rd state championship.
Yeah, congratulations goes out to them. All right, let's talk about the facilities here at St. X. And I tell you what, we got some footage, and it's just beautiful shots. Of course, the trophy case, defending football state champions, but you got a world-class weight room, a beautiful chapel and theater. It must be very special to walk in that building.
Oh, absolutely. As you see the chapel now that seats about 400 so that we could have all-class masses. That was completed in 1998. We feel that our facilities should reflect our purpose of developing the entire person. So you see the theater there on the screen. The theater was completed in 2004 as part of a new arts wing development. So we believe, obviously, in the mind, the intellect, we're a college preparatory high school, but we also believe in developing the artistic sense. We obviously believe in developing the athletic sense, and clearly we believe in developing the spiritual sense, since we are a Catholic school.
It is all about the development of our youth, and I tell you what, you've got an open house coming up, and this is one of the finest private schools in the country, and I know you're excited about that as the assistant admissions director. Easy for me to say.
Absolutely. Our open house is on November 16th. It starts at 11:30. We typically have somewhere around 2,000 people tour our school at that time, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders typically. Our entrance examination, which is the Archdiocesan entrance test, will take place on November 22nd. Last year we had about 800 students here at St. X taking the test. We received a little over 1,200 scores. With about 800 total applicants applying to our class of 2012.
I tell you what, you have some fine alumnus as well, despite Chris Welsh going here. Saying it now, I'm just kidding.
He's one of our finest.
I'm just kidding, Chris. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure meeting you. Good luck to your cross-country team.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
All right, it is High School Football Live, presented by Grange Insurance. We're minutes away. Moeller, St. X on Fox Sports Ohio.
Days you can buy more things in more places than ever before. You'd think that would make things simpler.
I'd like a venti quad cappuccino.
But it just makes it more complicated. That's why at Grange, we still sell our auto insurance through independent agents. It's a far smoother process than buying from a stranger over some 1-800 line. It's good to know what you're buying and who you're buying it from.
Your partner in protection.
St. Xavier Stadium. It's Moeller and St. X coming up on Fox Sports Ohio. And we'll check out our Toyota stat sheet and what jumps off of the page at you, Dave Lapham Jr.
Well, I would say one of the first things about these two teams, for two teams being around 500 football, it is amazing. They both average the same number of points scored as they average giving up. 25 and 25 for Moeller and 13 and 13 for St. X. How about that for two teams playing about 500 football?
Absolutely. St. X has won the last 3 meetings in this series by a combined score of 80-21. Moeller's last series win, 2004, second round of the playoffs, but the winner gets in. It is up next, high school football, Saturday night style. Fox Sports Ohio up next. Brad Johansson, Anthony Munoz in tow tonight. For Dave Lapham Jr., I'm Jim Day. Enjoy the game, everyone, on Fox Sports Ohio.
For the Ohio Division I playoff picture to come into focus, it comes down to one final game. Tonight, the Moeller Crusaders visiting the defending state champion St. Xavier Bombers. When the final gun sounds, the picture will become crystal clear. Welcome to Saturday Night High School Football, presented by your Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Toyota dealers. From Cincinnati, a GCL battle in the final game of the season as the Moeller Crusaders take on the St. Xavier Bombers for the final playoff spot in Division I. Hello again, everyone. Brad Johansson alongside a new partner tonight. You might recognize the face. Hall of Fame class in the NFL, 1998. And the Cincinnati Bengals' only Hall of Famer and the greatest lineman ever to play the game, Mr. Anthony Munoz. Nice to have you with us tonight.
It's good to be with you, Brad. I'm looking forward to it.
You picked kind of a decent game to join us for this one. This will be a battle this evening.
Well, I think it has some meaning here.
Has some meaning because Don Bosco already won earlier today. What that means, winner moves on, loser goes home. It starts with the Moeller Crusaders, and they have it resting on the quarterback's shoulders of Andrew Hendricks.
Well, Andrew Hendricks needs to show a little more consistency. Here's a kid, extremely smart, big and strong, can throw the football, has a heck of an arm, not only in the pocket throwing the football, but on the run. He needs to stop throwing the interceptions and raise his completion rate. And who do you look for when you have to raise that completion rate but Tony Harris? Here's a kid that is leading the GCL in receiving, a kid that has done a tremendous job all season long. Not a big kid. You watch him, but he's got great hands. But not only can he catch the football as a wide receiver, but he can return it as a kickoff return man.
Now, both of these teams have gone through injuries this year, but probably none so devastating than for St. X. They are now on quarterback number 3, and this one will rest on senior Joe O'Toole.
Well, Joe O'Toole, he's a hard worker. He wants to be the best, but he's still a number 3 guy coming in and trying to run this offense. The Bombers cannot depend on O'Toole to win the football game with his arm. He needs help, and where do you go to help? Nevin Hurd, the running back who's got nearly 300 yards in the last 2 games. As the coach said, he will give you everything he has. So believe me when I say his tank will be empty at the end of this game tonight.
I think there'll be a lot of tanks empty at this one. As we said, it is winner moves on, loser goes home. The final battle in the GCL, Moeller and St. X. Our final game, Saturday Night Football. Fox Sports Ohio. It's coming up next. And welcome back to St. X. Brad Johansson and Anthony Munoz to bring you the final Saturday night game on Fox Sports Ohio. Let's head down to the third member of our crew on the field, Dave Lapham Jr. Hey, Dave.
Hey, thanks, Brad. One of the first things you'll notice tonight, Moeller seniors aren't wearing the traditional solid color shoes. They hand over their game shoes to a junior of the same position during the week. That junior has free reign to decorate the shoes. You'll see some solid examples of creativity tonight. I saw one gentleman running by with a couple dollar bills on his shoes. So should be a fun night tonight.
Yeah, you don't want to hand your shoes to an underclassman.
Hey, is Dave wearing his from his senior year?
Yeah, what color do you have, Dave? Did you get pink ones?
Yep, that was very, very intimidating, Brad.
Yeah, well, you got to hang on to those. Now the series, the 51st meeting between these two. Moeller leading the series 35-15-1, but the last time they took down St. X was November 13th, 2004. A 10-7 win in the second round of the playoffs. This will be to get to the playoffs. Ethan McAlpin lets it go. Back to Ian Cummins and Kyle Lyons. And it is Lyons bringing it back across the 20-yard line. That's where St. X will start, just across the 21-yard line as Jeff Aubin takes him down on the first tackle, and we are underway. Joe O'Toole to lead the way. As we talked about in the open, the third quarterback for St. X to come through. They have gone through some devastating injuries on this squad, and O'Toole is the guy for them. They lost Luke Massa, first from scar tissue to a broken foot in 07, then a collarbone in week 4. Sam Mail to a collarbone versus LaSalle. This is now Joe O'Toole's team. First and 10 from the 21. Lyons in motion, and he'll get it. And a flag comes flying down inside the 20-yard line as he brings it out for about an 8-yard gain. Kendall Walker on the stop.
Is the Bomber ball carrier.
We've got a hold on St. X on the first play from scrimmage.
Ian Hunley in on the
Take a look at the Grange St. X offense, the starting lineups that you have this evening.
Back on the
for the Bombers, Muldoon, James Vance, Douglas, and Emerson.
Whistled against St. Xavier.
Backs and receivers, Grumbala, Hoper,
take the ball back to the 9-yard line.
And Hurd.
First
Coach
and
Steve
22.
Speck leading the way, Anthony.
Not happy with the first play. Holding had a nice little run there, but one of the guys up front got to eliminate those penalties early in a big game like this.
First and 22 with the ball all the way back on the 9-yard line. Hand off straight through, and there is just not much there for Nevin Hurd.
Nevin Hurd is the Bomber
Walker
ball
and
carrier.
McClellan there.
Nick Galvin.
Grange insurance starting lineups on the defensive line. McClellan, Powell, and Rush.
Guys will be moving quite a bit.
Mize, Galvin, Walker, of course, with your linebackers. Schneider, Williford, Calpine, and Hundley in the secondary. Second down and 21 with the ball at the 10. And another flag on the field.
Okay. Dead ball, encroachment, 5-yard penalty, repeat, second down.
Nick Galvin came across the line. Gives St. X 5 back down to the 15-yard line.
Nick, hey, we'll see some similarities in these defenses. Odd fronts, defensive linemen moving quite a bit, slanting and angling. And as a former offensive lineman, that makes it tough for those big linemen trying to catch those guys moving around.
Second down and 16 with the ball at the 15-yard line. O'Toole Hurd, and he has to adjust and spin his way, but even doing so, gain of maybe 2 out to the 17. Schneider and Galvin there on the stop. And the Crusaders are coming to the ball in a hurry tonight.
They are. They're flying to the ball. Their defense is quick. They run to the football really well. As the coach is telling us, they've played well the last 4 weeks. Right here you see a Hurd trying to go to his right. Nothing there, but movement. Nice penetration and movement by the Moeller Crusader defense, and they're there for no gain.
Third down and 14 with the ball at the 17 for O'Toole and company. Single wide each side. He'll give it to Hurd, and he is hit behind the line of scrimmage and taken down by Nick Galvin, already in on 3 tackles today.
Galvin at the loss back to the 16.
Galvin doing a tremendous job. You see right here, a nice little stun up the middle there, and nobody blocks Galvin. You get those defensive linemen moving, the offensive linemen go with them. It leaves the guy running free, just as they did that time. Galvin to make the play.
Danny Frutiger to punt on 4th down. Tony Harris back deep for the Crusaders on 4th and 16. Back near his goal line. Frutiger lets it go. Hits a good one. Harris will let hit just in front of him. Dangerous play as it takes a Crusader bounce back near midfield. Will be at the 49-yard line of the Crusaders, and their first offensive possession will be in good field position. Andrew Hendricks leading the way. You see his numbers, throwing for just under 1,500 yards, 9 TDs, and 7 picks already this year. You say you watched Hendricks in practice. What'd you see this week, Anthony?
I did. He'd throw the ball extremely well. As we talked about in the open, the kid he's got a rifle. I mean, a little erratic at times, but he's got a very, very strong arm.
And he will throw on 1st down, under pressure. And will have to run for, and may have got a yard. Pat Muldoon there on the pressure, a gain of 1. Take a look at the Grange starting lineup. So the offensive line, Anthony, anything you like there?
Big tackles. They should be able to hopefully move those defensive linemen, but they're big at the tackle position.
Backs and receivers: Harris, Williford, Schneider, Gavone, and Dyer. Straight through. Gavone will get just across midfield, and the yards are coming stingy in the early going. Keekly and Ukujobi on the stop. Muldoon, Hervey, Mohammed on the defensive line. Lees, Herman, Roland Mason. And then the defensive backs, Keekly, Weston, Carroll, and Brown. 3rd down and 6. And a great grab, but couldn't hang on as he goes to the bottom at the 30-yard line. Andrew Brown on the coverage to stop him there. Tonight's starting lineup is brought to you by your Grange Insurance agents. To get more information on all your insurance needs, contact Lober and Will Insurance Incorporated in Cincinnati.
Right there, Hendricks showed the ability to throw on the run. I mean, he hit that ball right in a catchable position, but his ability to just get out there, provide some space between the defensive rush, being able to unload the football, but almost an excellent catch by the wide receiver, but he did not hold on to it.
Adam Schaefer to let it go. Drew Gambala back waiting at his 10 on this one. And an angled kick out of bounds off the side of his foot for Schaefer. And they will mark it across the 25-yard line and out of bounds at 27. No score. 8:14 to go in the first. We'll be back to St. X after this. Tomorrow night, be there live for the first show that breaks down the new BCS standings, the official BCS rating show. Find out who's moving up, who's moving out, and who's moving on towards a berth in the BCS bowl game. The official BCS rating show Sunday, 8 p.m. Fox Sports Ohio. No score, 8:14 to go in the first. Second offensive possession for the St. Xavier Bombers. A little tight tonight, both guys?
Might be a little tight, but if you remember correctly, talking to coaches, they were talking about a game of field position. Let's squeeze the field, one coach said, and it's going to come up to a punting game and see what happens here with these two offenses.
Moeller could not take advantage with half a field and give it straight back through. And the big tight end, Pete Lees, or fullback, goes down and the ball's on the ground, and Crusaders come up with it. And a first turnover. Pete Lees lays it on the ground. And the Crusaders, as you talk about field position, now have great field position. Tyler Hutchinson comes up with it.
Well, they give it to Lees, the big fullback, who just tries to power it. Little guard trap, actually a tackle trap with Muldoon leading the way. Gets great push, but he doesn't hold on to the football, and he loses it. Again, we talked about Moeller last time only having half the field. Now they have less than that. Field position so far playing into this game.
Ben Schneider yanked it loose, 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line. And a quick hit and a quick completion. David Schneider will take it inside the 20-yard line, and the Crusaders are moving. Justinian Mason and Keekley on the stop.
Little bootleg here, little fake to the left. You see Hendricks coming out right away. Schneider's open. This is one big tight end. I tell you what, he's got some excellent hands. Watching him out at practice, not only a solid blocker, but can catch the football.
1st and 10 from the 17. Hendricks under pressure. Lets it go, incomplete. Again, trying to hit Schneider. There's a flag on the field back at the 28-yard line. Muldoon again with more pressure.
Pat Muldoon, the big defensive end, number 50, putting a lot of pressure early on this football game on the quarterback, Hendricks.
Muldoon coveted by a bunch of Big Ten schools, Wisconsin, and then out of the Big Ten, BC, Virginia, Duke, UC, all would love to have this guy.
You know, it's interesting. He's going against Ali Kassam, the big 6'6", 315-pound right tackle, and the coach was the first to say he's an excellent run blocker, but needs a little work with his feet. And right now, Pat Muldoon is having a pretty good start here.
So penalty sending the Crusaders all the way back to their 38-yard line. Hendricks on a quarterback draw. Out of the first tackle. Looking for blocking, doesn't need blocking, he's doing it on his own, and Muldoon finally has him and will drag him down before he gets to the 20-yard line. Nice run by Hendricks. Kujobi in there to help on the stop.
Brad, I stand corrected. Number 77's in the football game. Josh Seavey at right tackle, but Hendricks doing a nice job. Right here, one guy can't bring him down. There's several blue shirts trying to bring him down, but it's actually Muldoon who runs down, pursues, and makes the tackle. Nice run by Hendricks.
Officials timeout.
Officials taking a timeout here.
Checking in for the Bombers is number
Muldoon will come out with an equipment change.
Mitchell checks in for St. Xavier.
So they pick up a bunch, but it remains 2nd down and 15. Have to get inside the 10-yard line. Down to inside the 8 for a first down. Hand off right side. Dragged down inside the 15 by the face mask. Luke Kuechly got him.
Jeff Aubin was the running back.
And Aubin all got turned around. And that will all but take care of the yardage that they need to pick up.
Brad, both teams run the outside zone, and right here, the Crusaders do a nice job running the outside zone. See right here, face mask. But a nice job by that offensive line, stretching it out, letting the defensive line go where they want, pushing them, and then letting the back read it, and they do that time, and they tack on with the face mask penalty.
Personal foul whistled against the Bombers. That takes the ball inside the 10-yard line.
So it is 1st and goal for the Crusaders on their second drive, taking this one after the turnover. Play action to the end zone. Touchdown, Crusaders. Look for that big tight end, and he got David Schneider, and the Crusaders are on the board first.
Big target, number 80, David Schneider, and once again, Moeller rolling Hendricks out, letting him use the ability to throw the football as he rolls out, and that ball is right in the chest of Schneider. See right here, little token fake to the right, to the left. He comes rolling out, squares his shoulders up, and bang, nice throw right there for the touchdown.
That was a 7-yard dart. And Moeller cashes in on the fumble by Lees, and Corey Smith will try and add the extra point. David Whitehead to hold. Kick is up, and it is through. A 9-play drive, 32 yards after the turnover, 1:09 off the clock. Hendricks to Schneider. Crusaders take the lead.
Hey, Brad, right here you see the tight end, nice little seal block there, little fake here. Coming out, you got the tight end coming across. Nice touchdown play right there for the Crusaders.
Just the way you draw it up.
Exactly. That tight end seals that defensive end, allowing him to come out outside and make that throw. And there's the big tight end, make the catch. He made the catch.
Four-play drive, 32 yards, 1:09 off the clock. Following the turnover, Ethan McAlpine will let this one go. You're looking at Ian Cummings. He's back with Kyle Lyons. Cummings. Near side across the 25. Crusader loses his helmet. And the Bombers will take over. The long field after Timothy McNall makes the stop.
Right now the Bombers have to come out, as we talked, Brad, and the coach talked, they have to establish the running game. It's a matter of the big guys. Matt James moved on, Fance, Douglas, and Edmondson getting it going up front so they can get Hurd running the football.
1st and 10 from the 26. Hurd the deep back in the offset eye. They come left side, looking for room. And Ben Schneider is the first one to hit him and then got some help. Galvin was there again. We're going to be calling his name all night, aren't we?
I tell you what, they ran an isolation play. The fullback Lee's coming up on Galvin, but Galvin just kind of shakes that fullback off and makes the tackle. Nice play by this young man right here, Galvin, number 56. Lee's is not a small fullback. I mean, he came up there with some power.
Came in out of necessity to play fullback. The myriad of injuries that this team has had. 2nd down and 6 from the 30-yard line. O'Toole to throw. Wide open. He got Drew Gambala, and Gambala has the first down across the 40-yard line. And the Walker in on the stop along with Robbie Williford. I'd love to see a lot more of that from O'Toole.
Exactly. These are the type of plays that are going to put O'Toole in a position to be successful right here. Nice quick throw, a slant to the inside. Get the Walker there to make him pay for it, but it's a nice completion. Excellent confidence builder for O'Toole.
So move it out to the 42-yard line. Bombers trying to answer the Crusaders. And O'Toole to throw. Under pressure, tried to dump off the Hurd. Incomplete. Concerned that he had fumbled the ball. Hurd moves it over, but it is an incomplete pass. Sean McClellan in with some of the pressure. Take a look again.
Once again, 56 Galvin's in there. Nice little fake to Hurd. He brings the center out. O'Toole does. Comes over, you see right there, but the protection breaks down. Number 56 Galvin. And his buddy comes over and helps him out. But O'Toole trying to make a play. Saw Hurd was right there. Not a bad move, but just overthrew Hurd.
From the 42, 2nd and 10. And on the draw, Hurd bouncing off tackles. Will take it to the 45-yard line. Picked up at 3. It is McClellan and Walker who are there. Let's head down to the field. Dave Leppert Jr. Hey, Leppert.
Thanks, Brad. These two teams over the years have developed a decent history of dislike for each other, and Moeller is currently leading this series 34-15 with one tie between the two teams. We're bigging up a lot of those wins during their heyday of the 70s and 80s, but St. X has owned the recent history, haven't lost to Moeller since the playoffs in 2004.
3rd down and 7. Ball at the 45. Thanks, Dave. O'Toole. And Hurd is hit right at the 50-yard line, and that is short of the needed yardage to move the chains. We'll see what St. X will do at midfield.
Right here you'll see they're going to move O'Toole out, roll him out. He gets rid of it before Gavin makes the play to Hurd, but it's number 36, Ben Schneider, who comes up, the blast player, and he blasts the wide receiver. Right there you see O'Toole taking a hit after the throw.
Danny Frutiger to punt. Tony Harris
Hey, Brian, one thing after this punt that
4th and 2. Hit a good one. Harris coming up, calling for a fair catch and dropped it and falls back on it across the 20-yard line. I believe it was Robbie Williford who was actually back and could not hang on. Was able to finally corral it with 4:17 to go in the first. Headed back down on the field, Dave Lavin Jr.
Hey, one of the big successful points for this drive is X finally swung field position on Moeller. Moeller now has to go the length of the field on him against this tough Xavier defense. And Anthony, I think we both know that's a big advantage for X defensively here.
It really is. It gives them a chance to run a few more games with longer field for Moeller to go.
Hendricks with a flag on the field. Not much there for it. Snapped it to Igavone. And Igavone took it from there. But there was illegal motion.
Igavone on the carry. Takes out to about the 23-yard line. There is a penalty marker on the play.
Motion, 5-yard penalty, repeat, first down.
Brad, it's interesting the
We'll go back to the 16
really the game plan that both these offenses had. Coach Beck saying that they needed to run the football, and of course, Coach Rodenberg saying we need to pass the football. What did he give us? About 70%.
70%.
They had to pass the football, and they're doing that right now so far in this first quarter, just passing the football.
So Hendricks back in behind center, empties the backfield on 1st down and 15. Quick hit. Tony Harris run out of bounds across the 20-yard line. Will Carroll there to run him out of bounds.
Will Carroll on the defensive play along with Justinian Mason. And will go out to the 23-yard line.
Hendricks will try and go hurry up. Another thing that Rodenberg said is we like to do a lot of no huddle. Keep the tempo up.
Press the defense. Press them.
2nd and 8 from the 23. Hendricks throwing well over everyone. Under pressure again, trying to hit Patrick Donovan over there, but he threw 10 yards over his head as the pressure came.
Nigel Muhammad put the pressure. The protection was good at first, but Muhammad got there late and put a hit on Hendricks.
3rd down and 8, ball at the 23. Inside 4 minutes to play in the first. And they got a jump. On the right side, Donovan, as they doubled up the tight ends. A little bit in a hurry. Moving back to 3rd and 13.
18-yard line.
4th penalty for the Crusaders. Ready for 35 yards. Hendricks under pressure again, will go down. Herman and Muldoon in the backfield and nowhere to go for Hendricks.
Take a look at Pat Muldoon here working against Josh Seavey, number 77 on white, Muldoon 50. Gets a little help right here. Nice little game. Muldoon going to the inside. Seavey loses his helmet. Muldoon actually beats 2 of those offensive linemen to make the sack.
At least 2.
This kid has a motor that continues to go that he's shown so far in this first quarter.
Shaver to punt, 3 yards deep in his own end zone. Drew Gambala back to receive. Low snap. Almost got there. And a low kick that will take a Crusader bounce. And a gutsy pick by Gambala, but he hangs on. They will mark it at the 47-yard line, field position.
Tony Harris right there, number 3. Not only is he playing wide receiver, running kickoffs back, but he's covering punts on punt coverage, making a nice tackle right there.
The stars at this level do it all, don't they?
I'll tell you what, they're, as much as they can do. You know, with Tony Harris, let's get the ball in his hands, and then you saw right there, he's a sure tackler.
Well, Nevin Hurd coming in with 605 yards, a couple of touchdowns on the ground, 1 through the air, 5 carries already, 9 yards total. 1st and 10 from the 47-yard line of the Crusaders. O'Toole has a man down the middle, inside the 25-yard line. Robbie Williford finally makes the tackle. Got Kramer down the middle, and he was wide.
Moeller coming with the blitz, but the Bombers doing an excellent job picking it up right there. Nevin Hurd picking him up, running right down the middle, wide open, making the catch. Nice play by O'Toole. Give Nevin Hurd some credit on that one. He picked up the blitz, allowing O'Toole to make the throw.
1st and 10 from the 23. O'Toole again to throw that one behind his receiver, trying to get Trevor Holker. And he was coming across on the slant, threw it behind him.
Those are the passes that O'Toole needs to complete. Holker was open. Good throw would have been a completion. You can't let those type of plays elude you, because you need that to sustain this drive, especially with this excellent field position.
Coach Specs told us that O'Toole had to be consistent all night, more consistent than he's been all year. 3 of 5 tonight for 41 yards right now. 2nd and 10 from the 23. Give it a Hurd straight up the middle, and he bounces left. But there's just no room for Nevin Hurd tonight.
Hurd is the Bomber ball carrier.
May get down close to the 21-yard line. Galvin and Schneider again.
Ben Schneider, number 36, playing the blast right there. So Galvin hit a penetration, making Hurd change his direction, and then all of a sudden Schneider. Hey, let's take a listen here. There's some hitting going on down there. They got the playoff for the winner here.
St. X 0 for 2 on 3rd down. This is 3rd and 8. Ball at the 22-yard line. Grumbala in motion. O'Toole to throw. He's got Kramer again, well short of the 1st down. Billy Wursel in on the stop. And will stop him at about the 18-yard line. He'll get inside the 14 for a 1st down. See what St. X does here.
A little fake on the reverse there. O'Toole rolling to his right, rolling with his left hand, making a nice throw, but the Moeller defense making a sure tackle there to make it a 4th down.
And they will go on 4th and 5 from the 19.
Andrew Beard checks into the Bomber lineup.
Grumbala out wide left. Kramer in the slot right side. Hurd the lone setback, and he will dump it to Hurd. Nice catch made and a nice stop. They will not get the 1st down. Taken down by Ian Hundley, and he was right there in a very sure open field tackle.
Brad, I'm surprised they haven't gotten to Hurd throwing the football earlier. He does have excellent hands. Trying to get the ball in his hands right away, which they do. But Moeller making a nice tackle.
Hundley fights off the block and is right there. And the Crusaders take over. As St. X had ventured into the red zone and gets nothing for it. Crusaders with the ball in the lead. Quick dump out right side, ball's on the ground, and Moeller may have gotten it back. It scoots loose. Xavier has it. St. X with the recovery. David Herman picked it up. And we'll see what St. X can do with this turnover, if they can match what Moeller did, which was punch it in. Luke Kuechly knocked it loose, and it looked like Moeller had fallen on it.
Well, he got the ball right away to Tony Harris, but he didn't have the ball secured. The ball's up around his shoulder pads, and Kuechly doing a nice job stripping it. I think the Moeller offensive lineman had a chance to recover it, but St. X jumps on it. 1st down, deep in Moeller territory.
It is 1st and goal at the 10-yard line. Grumbala goes in motion. And they jumped. Left side.
5 yards listed against St. Xavier.
There's Jack Woodall.
1st and 15.
It's down on the field, Dave Lapham Jr.
Yes.
Hey, Dave.
Marcus Rush, defensive end for Moeller, he's getting looked at on the sidelines after that. It looked like the 3rd down play got shaken up. They're checking out his neck mobility. I don't know if he's going to be able to return as of yet, but he's tied for the lead in the GCL in sacks with 8. They'll definitely miss his presence on the defensive line.
No kidding. So another penalty, move it back 5 yards. 1st and 15, 1st and goal from the 15. And Hurd with a little bit of hole and tripped up very quickly. Walker and Powell in on the stop.
Tell you what, I thought Hurd was going to get through that hole. We'll see the replay right here. But Kendall Walker making a nice play. Lee's leading the way. Nice block by Lee's. Right there, just the shoestring tackle by Kendall Walker. But give credit to Lees, who the big fullback gets through there, makes a nice lead block.
Give him 3 on first down, 2nd and 12. Toole again will go shotgun and send Hurd in motion out of the backfield. And rolling near side. Throwing end zone to the 1-yard line. It is caught and marked at the 1-yard line. Trevor Holker with the diving reception. It will be 3rd and goal from the 1.
St. X doing a nice job. Moeller's moving, slanting, blitzing. They're doing a nice job picking up right there. Galvin just stopped enough to allow O'Toole to make the throw, and Holker makes the catch. But they're moving O'Toole out of the pocket. He's continuing to take hits, but he's making the completions.
That takes us to the end of 1. Moeller up 7-0. But the Bombers are on the doorstep. Start the second quarter on Fox Sports Ohio right after this. Back at St. X to start the second quarter. Moeller turned a turnover into a touchdown, and St. X trying to do the exact same thing now. 3rd and goal inside the 1-yard line.
St. X doing it with the pass so far. Coach Beck saying they needed to run the football. O'Toole doing a nice job on those short passes, completing them.
The big fullback with Pete Lees, the only setback. O'Toole will give it to him, and he's in the end zone. That was automatic.
It sure was. He would have taken the goalpost on that run. Nothing was going to stop Lees.
Stephen Cummings was going to be their fullback. Then he got hurt, and Pete Lees says, "Coach, whatever you need me to do." He would like him to do that more often.
And Pat Muldoon and Mike Vance up front clearing the way. And I think if they would have been standing still, he would have helped them clear the way on that one.
Danny Frutiger to add the extra point. O'Toole to hold. Kick is up and through. We got ourselves a tie ball game. 11:58 to go in the first half. Quick 3-play drive, 10 yards, 108. About the same time, 2 seconds more than the other scoring drive. Take another look.
Just nothing fancy, just a wedge. Everybody come up. It appeared that Muldoon was the apex of the wedge, and they just take it in under his underarm, and they just push, and right there you see Van 61, Muldoon. It helps when your offensive linemen are taking the defensive lineman into the end zone right there. Oh my goodness. Great push by Muldoon and Vance.
You want some syrup for that pancake?
I tell you what, there was a full stack there. Man.
That's an attaboy for the offensive line.
Exactly.
Well, we figured we were in for a good one. Winner moves on. Loser goes home. We're all tied at 7, 11:58 to go the first. Ian Hunley and Tony Harris back to receive the kick. Danny Frutiger.
You think they thought about kicking to Harris this week after what he did last week on that final game?
Yeah, for those who don't know, it was season ending for Moeller. 15 seconds to go. They were down. Final score, nothing happened. And St. Ed's decides to kick to Tony Harris, and he takes it back. 85 yards for a touchdown in the win.
How many times are you watching a football game and you say, why are you squibbing? Kick it deep, kick it deep. Well, they kicked it deep, and Tony Harris, boom. I'll tell you what, he took it all the way.
Putting them in their position now with a chance to take down St. X and move on into the playoffs. Across the 14-yard line. Breaking out as Hunley will take it out just short of the 40-yard line. Let's take a look at Tony Harris. Last Saturday afternoon, a little flashback. So they can't hurt us here.
Nice kick, back, 9-yard line. And there he goes. Man, nice blocks, but look at the speed. Look at him he just reads his blocks. You see him cut, and all of a sudden they know it's over right there.
He scored in touch football.
Wow.
And look at it.
Unbelievable, they're saying. McAlpin saying, did that just happen?
Yes, it did. That is a hello. I'd like to meet you, Luke Kuechly.
Wow.
Remember my number.
That is what a turnover, a quick touchdown by your offense can do. You see the St. X defense penetration, and then Luke Kuechly comes in and says, hello, hello, Richie Dyer. Bang, Richie just coming back from a cartilage tear, rehab, and he's playing.
Dump off quick to Auburn, and he can't hang on to it. Pressure again. And Hendricks is under pressure from Muldoon. He's saying, can anybody block 50 and keep him out of my face tonight?
Well, we ISO'd on him where two guys couldn't block him. Now he's in there again hitting Hendricks. They're going to have to make some adjustments to be able to block Pat Muldoon, because not only is he playing offense and taking off defensive linemen in the end zone on touchdown runs, but he's out there rushing the passer and hitting them and getting to him.
3rd down and 15. Ball back at the 35. Hendricks. Quick dump off, and that won't do anything. Tony Harris will get a couple, and that's about it. And Crusaders will be forced to fumble. It's their 3rd 3 and out for the Crusaders. Patrick Joby in on coverage.
Well, what Pat Muldoon forced them to do, they kept in the tight end David Snyder to help on him. Therefore, you lose one of your receivers, and you have to hit something short like that if you're rolling out. So it's time to punt the football.
Schaefer to punt. Grumbala back to receive, standing at his own 30, waiting on this one. A low liner, Grumbala fields and is blown up. I'll tell you what, there have been some dangerous punt return catches already this evening.
Did you see who hit that? Who made the hit?
They've hung on. Who got the hit?
Tony
Was it Tony
Harris.
again?
Tony Harris.
Tony's everywhere. Number 3 all over the place in blue and in gold. Well, St. X, just as we started the second, little push from the offensive line. A couple of pancakes and a tie ball game.
You can buy more things in more places than ever before. You'd think that would make things simpler.
I'd like a venti quad cappuccino.
But it just makes it more complicated. That's why at Grange, we still sell our auto insurance through independent agents. It's a far smoother process than buying from a stranger over some 1-800 line. It's good to know what you're buying and who you're buying it from.
Your partner in protection.
Lap's not here, Anthony, so I won't make you do our Fiddler on the Roof. We'll just start with tradition. Start a new one this season at Cincinnati.com. It's the best place online to view all the action for your school and team. Watch a replay of tonight's broadcast. Get schedules, scores, and stats, photos, video, blogs, and more only at Cincinnati.com. Search high school sports.
Have you seen Lap sings when he's here?
Are you kidding me? Lap sing any chance that he can get.
Oh,
well, I
my
mean,
goodness.
some may call it singing.
Well, thank you for not making me sing.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, you can jump in anytime you want. I'm not preventing you from doing it as you look at Joe O'Toole's number.
Believe me, if you heard me sing,
if it breaks out, we're ready for it.
You would jump up in a hurry and make me stop.
1st and 10 from the 33. Hurd, big hole. We'll take it out for about 9. Close to another 1st down as Robbie Williford takes him down. That's the biggest chunk they've picked up all day.
Looks like that, getting the running game going right here. You see number 4, Nevin Hurd on the right of the quarterback right here. It's just nothing but just a stretch play. Stretching out, fullback leading the way. Big hole for Nevin Hurd.
James and Cummins with big blocks on that one. 2nd and 1 from the 42. And a quick hit to Grumbala. He's got the 1st down, but not much more than that. Billy Wurzel right on him, but got it out to the 45-yard line and a new set of downs.
Well, Brad, what O'Toole saw right there, Grumbala was open. There wasn't a whole lot of coverage, so he got it out there in a hurry, hoping his wide receiver could make a play, and he did.
Safe pass for O'Toole, obviously what Coach Speck wants this evening, and so far cashing in on those. Timeout on the field. So it looks like Wurzel lost something, maybe a mouthpiece. Officials timeout. And he's back in and ready on 1st and 10 from the 45-yard line. First man through, nothing there. Tell you, that first series for St. X, about the first offensive series that we've seen anything really productive coming from either offense so far tonight.
Exactly. And again, as you mentioned, it's those quick throws, those throws that are going to put Joe O'Toole in a position to be successful. You don't want him sitting back there, putting pressure on that O-line to protect forever. You want to roll him out, a quick drop, and get rid of the ball quickly, and that's exactly what Coach is doing for him.
2nd and 10 from the 45. And somebody jumped Hutchinson right off the bat. Got the quick call from O'Toole, and they get a free 5.
Dead ball. Encroachment on the defense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat. 2nd down.
Crusaders takes the ball to midfield. 2nd and 5.
So Hutchinson gets caught.
That's one of those things where you're the only one moving. You're the only one they can see. There's no arguing that. No pointing to the other side.
Right at midfield on 2nd down. Hurd. Well, there's some sheer tackling going on this evening. Robbie Williford got a fistful of jersey and drove him into the ground after about a 2.5-yard gain.
Right there, Brad. There is some discipline, some nice form tackling on both defenses. Not only the Moeller defense, but the X defense. Right there, you see Hurd taking it to the outside, but Williford doing a nice job. Open field tackle. It's just him and Nevin Hurd, and he makes the play.
So bring up a 3rd down and 3. With the ball now in Crusader territory inside the 48-yard line. Toole gives it to Hurd. And big hole. Spinning his way, but a flag down on the field as he crosses the 25. We'll get down to about, or I should say the 35, down to the 32-yard line. This one's coming back.
Brad, I was going to say, it doesn't surprise me that they're running to the left behind big Matt James, number 78. Big D1 prospect, and that time they pulled him, tackle trap, but as you see, a holding on the offense.
Captain.
James doing a nice job pulling around and blocking on that trap.
OSU has already made an offer to number 78, and just about everybody else before it's all done will.
Ohio State, I believe Tennessee, Michigan, they're all after him.
3rd.
Not sure who they threw that one on.
It was hard to tell who that holding penalty was on, but
James coming back after a stress fracture. Playing seemingly like there's nothing wrong. 3rd down and 13. O'Toole under pressure, and he will go down. Back inside the 40-yard line. Ball's on the ground. They call it down. Crusaders come up with it. Marcus Rush was all over it.
I know David reported that they were checking Marcus Rush out. I guess there's nothing wrong. You have
apparently the neck's okay.
The leading sacker. He's had 2 interceptions. Here's a former linebacker who runs a 4.8 with his hand down, getting to O'Toole and making the sack.
That would be his 9th on the season. Frudiger to punt. And Tony Harris is back. And he calls for a fair catch. Across the 25-yard line, just short of the 30. 7:27 to go in the first half. Locked up in a defensive battle, all tied at 7. Back to St. X after this. Back at St. X, let's head down to the field. Dave Lapham Jr., a little bomber defense tonight, huh, Dave?
Yeah, they've been doing it for a couple years now, playing this shutdown defense, and they line up in this 3-3-5 look, and it enables them to disguise coverages pretty well, makes it tough on the opposing quarterback. And one of the big keys for him is having a guy in the middle of that secondary like Luke Kuechly who can come up and run support and help those front 7. In the past, they had a guy named Fred Craig playing that position. He's out playing for Jim Harbaugh now at Stanford.
You know, David, it's interesting that Coach Speck referred to Kuechly as a smart guy who really understands the game. And not only said he could play that position, but also could be a major college tight end. So he understands both sides of the football.
Yeah, you're right. Because really he's playing center field out there, and you got to have a guy with some, and obviously Fred Craig had it too if he's out at Stanford. So they've been lucky in that position.
Well, they'd like Kuechly to join him at Stanford, one of those that have offered him. on the defensive side. Another flag down on the field as Hendricks tries to get the first down and is close to it, but it looks like this one's coming back.
I wouldn't be surprised if Josh Seavies was holding Pat Muldoon, because they were both on the ground, and as we know, we've been calling Muldoon's name all night long so far.
24-yard line.
Time of possession, as you talk about that defense, Dave. St. X has had it for 12:05. Moeller, 4 minutes and 28 seconds so far in this game.
We'll mark the ball back at the 14-yard line.
Well, this one will move back and won't help.
Second and about 25.
We'll take a look here and see if we can see anything where the penalty was. Hendricks rolls out to the right, and all you see is on the ground there.
Seavey.
Yeah, it might have been right there, or this one right here is probably the one.
Well, it's second down and 24 with a move back to the 14-yard line. Their 6th penalty for 57 yards. Completion out to the 20-yard line. But there's not much on the ground. There's not much through the air as he goes to Schneider again. Ukajobi on the stop, I should say.
Tell you what, Ukajobi looked like a much smaller guy than Schneider, but he did a nice job bringing him down after the big tight end made that catch.
We're probably conservative at calling Schneider 6'2", 230.
230?
Yeah. What do you think he is at right now?
I would guess, if I was a bet man, I'd say at least 280.
Quick hit right side. And Weston on the stop.
Jeremy Duncan.
Maybe 265.
They get Jeremy Duncan. You can talk about another big kid. We saw him on the field.
Listed about 6'6". He's got to be.
And he's probably more. Probably in the last week he's gone to 6'7". Wow. Just by eating.
I was at practice Wednesday, and Schneider came by and said hello, and I looked at him. I said, "Number 80."
It is 4th down and 8. Schaefer to punt. Grumbala back to receive. Hit it good. Driving Grumbala back to his 26-yard line. Far sideline will get it across the 40 before he's run out of bounds at about the 42.
Takes it out across the 40-yard line to
And
the
it was
St. Xavier
Wursel
41.
who made the stop. Let's go down the field to Dave again.
Brad, that last reception made by Jeremy Duncan, the brother of Josh Duncan, and basketball fans may remember Josh from Xavier University, led him to the Elite Eight last year, had a career high 26 in the win over West Virginia to send him to the Elite Eight. And I was coaching at Moeller when Josh was walking the halls, and I thought, man, if we could get that guy to come out and play receiver. This is his brother's first year, and he's obviously a big target out there.
Oh, no question he's a big target. And got some hands, too. Coming near side on the end around. Just across the 45. And driven out of bounds is Nick Lyons. Schneider and Hundley in on the stop. Moeller can't get much going on offense. They got a turnover, got it back, couldn't do anything with it. St. X trying to take the lead for the first time.
Little reverse here coming across. Galvin almost makes the tackle, but doesn't quite get there. Nice little gain there. Running back gets a chance to get a running start. Kyle Lyons getting the handoff and trying to get around the corner.
Second down and 4 from the 47. O'Toole. Grumbala fighting for that first down yardage. And he is very close as Ethan McAlpin made it difficult for him.
Tell you what, O'Toole making a very, very nice throw there to Grumbala. He kind of wanted to throw it quickly, but he wasn't open. He waited, reset. Look at this, nice throw, nice catch. It looks like they're a little short. Almost on a second effort, got the first down.
They will bring the ball over and may measure while they're there on that far sideline. As you take a look at O'Toole's numbers, which Speck would take those all day long, 8 of 10.
Exactly. That is a nice night so far.
Inches short.
Third and less than
Ball players, coaches, and band members going to be receiving a copy of tonight's game, courtesy of your local Grange Insurance agents. Additional copies may be purchased at www.gametapes.com. Well, it gives you, Coach Speck, a lot more options to go on 3rd and inches than it does on 3rd and 10 and 12 and 24.
So it's much better position to be in. Instead of letting those defensive linemen pin their ears back, and now they, think run, maybe play action, maybe roll out.
5:44 to go in the first half.
I'm sorry, Brad, those D tackles might be thinking of Lee's powering up the middle again.
And there he is. Watch number 56 in front of Hurd. And a flag before the play starts.
Penalty marker on the play.
You got someone to jump, and it looks like he may have got Billy Wursel.
Dead ball. Encroachment on the defense.
5-yard penalty. And 10 Bombers.
First down.
That makes the options even easier.
Yep.
Just inside
all
the
over again.
45-yard line.
Into Crusader territory firmly inside the 45-yard line. There's Billy Wursel.
Right there, coming across the line of scrimmage, encroachment. You got to know where the ball is. He's looking right in there. He should know that he cannot come across the football there.
O'Toole, quick hit across the middle inside the 40, 35, and down inside the 30-yard line. Big hit to Andrew Veer. And the slants have worked for the Bombers so far tonight.
They have worked extremely well, and O'Toole doing a nice job throwing the football. See right here, he gets the ball, 1, 2. He's ready to deliver the football, and Veer makes a nice catch because the ball is thrown extremely well by O'Toole.
First down again. And Hurd looking for room. Breaking out of the first tackle, dragging that tackler down to about the 22-yard line, and Marcus Rush is down at the bottom of the pile again.
And they're at the line of scrimmage. They're hurrying things up. It's interesting that they needed the running game to move to open up the pass, but the passing game is what has them going.
O'Toole with all day to throw. Got a man inside the 10-yard line. It's going to be first and goal as he gets Trevor Holker.
Wow, that offensive line doing a nice job protecting for O'Toole. Not a white shirt near O'Toole. He sits back there, he moves around, he looks. He's got about 10 seconds to complete that to Holker.
First and goal from the 7-yard line in the hurry up. Straight through, Nevin Hurd down close to the goal line. It's going to be second and goal from the 1.
Tell you what, Nevin Hurd showed a little power on this one. Watch him take the football and just smell the goal line. Watch him. Oh!
And goal from the 2.
I think a little helmet into that defender's chest.
Feel that one.
Yep. Heard it up here.
They will mark it outside the 1. We'll call it second and goal from the 2. Hurd behind Lees. Give it to Lees. Diving touchdown. He's second on the night. Right behind Pat Muldoon again. And Mike Vance was there as well. And the defensive line is not looking forward to seeing 61 and 50 in front of him on a goal line stance.
I tell you what, you talk about Vance, you talk about Muldoon. We've talked about him playing both ways. And I tell you what, that offensive line is taking over and coming off the football. And Lee's just had a little bit of a dive there. Touchdown Bombers.
He got off the ground. He had at least a stack of papers.
Kind of my vertical stack. Maybe mine was maybe half a stack.
Danny Frutiger with the extra point straight through. And St. X moves the offense with a drive of 7 plays, 59 yards, only 2:10 off the clock, and Pete Lee's second touchdown.
There you go, Muldoon, Vance, Matt James coming to the inside, sealing off Rush, getting a push. Right here you see the blue jerseys just overpowering the white jerseys, giving Pete Lees the line of scrimmage. Anytime all you see is those blue jerseys and the white jerseys underneath, that means that you're getting a very nice push.
He gets a soft landing on Williford here, too.
He sure does. Great shots by our crew right here, like you're right down there. Thank God you're not, but letting those guys try to stop big Pete Lees.
Pete Lees would be a guy you'd like to have on your fantasy team. If he's going to carry it 3 times, 8 yards, 2 touchdowns, you're getting maximum points for minimum output.
Yep.
The big man down on the goal line getting it done for the Bombers. They take their first lead with 3:49 remaining in the first half.
Tony Harris.
Frudiger there to let this one go. It'll be Tony Harris and Ian Hundley back. You take a look at the time of possession, and that is significant in a half of football.
It really is, and you have to be so impressed with O'Toole. Joe O'Toole doing a tremendous job, throwing the ball extremely well on those slants, those quick throws. I can't remember a pass that he did not throw where it was catchable.
And that's exactly what Coach said. I have to have this guy win this ball game for me tonight. He's doing everything to make sure that he stays within the framework and doing it very well.
Considering he had thrown some pretty ugly picks in previous games.
Short kick. Harris comes up and takes on the run across the 20. Harris!
Wow.
Taking it in to Bomber territory at about the 45-yard line. He is electric.
Tell you what, there's another guy. You have Muldoon on the Bomber side. You have Tony Harris on the Crusader side. This time not making tackles on coverage, but taking the kickoff. Does a great job with his vision, following his blockers and then picking his holes, making guys miss until finally he's caught from behind. But you're right, Brad, he is electric.
Michael Frey on the stop, but it's 1st and 10 from the 46 of the Bombers. Hendricks to throw. Quick completion. Down to the 41-yard line. Pickup of 6 on 1st down in front of Luke Kuechly.
Tony Harris on the reception. Luke Kuechly.
Tony again. He didn't get a whole lot of chance to catch his breath at any time in the game.
Tell you what, they're going to ride that horse. He is one thoroughbred. I tell you what, he's a very impressive young man.
A lot of the MAC schools like him. The reason probably not the bigger ones because of his height at 5'11". His pitch right side or Richie Dyer. We talked about him. Coach talked about him as an electrifying runner, but you talk about him with the meniscus problem. He's probably going to only get maybe 10 to 12 snaps tonight and maybe not fitting in quite the way he'd love to right now.
I'm sure that not only Dyer would like to carry the ball more, but Coach, like you said, he's going to limit him. Right there, Luke Kuechly doing a nice job running to the sideline, making the tackle.
Sage Icavone now lining up at quarterback, direct snap back, whistle down, flag on the field before this one starts. Encroachment again. A bunch of what coaches would say non-thinking penalties on both sides tonight.
It's all about discipline. Discipline. You know you're at the line of scrimmage. You know things are going to be moving quickly, so you have to focus that much more. Listen to your quarterback. Don't let the guys across the line of scrimmage distract you.
Move it deeper into Crusader territory, down to about the 37-yard line.
And less than a yard.
And it is 3rd and less than a yard. Moeller 0 for 4 on 3rd down so far. Icavone will take it himself on the direct snap, and he'll have the 1st down. Their first conversion on their 5th try inside the 35-yard line, down to about the 33. Herman and Kuechly again on the stop.
And they're keeping Icavone at the quarterback position right here. You see him just a quick fake. The big fullback takes it right up the middle to get the 1st down. They're running the same thing. Little pistol action here.
He's there and throws, and it's picked off. Coming back is Andrew Brown. And a flag down on the field. 2 flags come in with a little extracurricular. They may have got Snyder on a block after the interception was taken down. Icavone had the idea and had a man open and overthrew him.
80 White, you heard that one right there.
It is Snyder.
After the interception, during the run back, we have a dead ball, personal foul, White, 15-yard penalty, tack on to the end of the run. That's 15.
Brad, I guess this is what you'd consider the pistol. You got the quarterback 3.5 yards back, the running back, a fake pitch. He had Schneider wide open, but the ball was overthrown as Eichelbaum took a little bit of a hit as he was making the throw. But in the pistol compared to the shotgun, you have a chance to go play action. And right here, they had the right play call. Little fake to Dyer going wide, little jump pass right there, but who's there to hit him while he's throwing the football is Pat Muldoon.
Justinian Mason got a nice block on Schneider right after the pick. Schneider took exception and add 15 yards to the field position for the Bombers, who have a 7-point lead, 2:23 remaining in the first half, and a full complement of timeouts. O'Toole to throw on first down. Again, a bunch of time throwing incomplete into Crusader territory, looking for Holker. Hundley was out there in coverage. That one a little too low to corral.
Hey, Brad, O'Toole is getting plenty of time from that offensive line. Not only are they coming off on the run, but they're putting it together, and they're putting some nice pass protection together for Joe O'Toole, giving him a chance to make the throws.
2nd down and 10. Here comes the blitz. They give it to Hurd. And he almost broke it. Got tripped up just across the 45-yard line by Williford.
Robert Williford on the defensive hit for the Crusaders. Third.
Nice shot here. Just a quick handoff to Nevin Hurd, just not hesitating. He runs out of the tackle of Kendall Walker, but Williford making a nice sheer tackle right there. Tell you what, at first I thought Nevin Hurd was more of an elusive runner, but he's showing some power running through some tackles.
3rd and 4. Ball at the 47-yard line. Big down for the Moeller defense. O'Toole to throw. As a man, flag on the field. Grumbala out there, and 2 flags drop. Ethan McAlpin in coverage there, and he may have been too close in coverage.
Gold Star Chili. Salute tonight's fans of the game. All 3 of tonight's winners will get free conies. Compliments from Gold Star Chili. All 3 of tonight's winners
holding
get free Coney Crane.
on the defense. 10-yard penalty. Be a first down.
So the hold, Grumbala going out in formation. Let's take a look at him.
Right here we got Grumbala on McAlpin right here. You see a little stop and go, and Grumbala.
Oh yeah, he got a fistful of jersey.
Yep.
Fistful of jersey for a long time. You got to do that quickly.
Yep.
Quick hit, Grumbala inside the 40-yard line. Clock continues to spin inside 130. Sean McClellan on the stop.
Well, he wasn't in bad position there, Brad, but he just reached out and grabbed the little jersey, and the official saw that.
Moeller struggling in the first half with more penalty yards than they have total yards. Wow. 45 on the ground, or 45 through the air, 23 on the ground. That adds up to 68 with 87 penalty yards on 2nd and 7 from the 40. Flag down on the field. He's got to complete inside the 20. I have a feeling this one's coming back as well. Got Ian Cummins, Kendall Walker on the stop. But we've got a hold. Yep. I'll tell you what, these teams shooting themselves in the foot.
They really are. They've had opportunity after opportunity, but they keep hurting themselves with a lot of penalties. I'm sure that'll be one point of emphasis.
Illegal block in the back. Here, 10-yard penalty, first down.
I don't believe I've ever heard a ref say just a little block in the back.
It's either a block in the back or not a block in the back.
You got a little block in the back. And this one, well, where is the little block in the back?
Right there.
That's a little block in the back. That's a big block in the back.
That's a big one. 79 right there. That's
Jake
a big
Woodall.
guy. Yep. He's a big old guy.
There's no way he's 230 either. We got Jake Woodall listed at 6'2", 230 as well. On 2nd and 25 from the 42. They may just grind it out here and let the clock go. And another flag. This one extracurricular variety, I believe. Walker and Galvin on the stop. This is the 16th penalty of the game. You know there's a lot of passion going on in this one.
Oh, I know. You see 51, Billy Douglas coming off, and he was the one that was right there by the penalty, and you see Coach.
You getting screamed at.
Yep, just a bit.
You got a personal foul. Here, 15-yard penalty. Second down.
This is an intense rivalry, but you have to be able to harness that and go from the snap to the whistle, know when to stop.
Marching backwards, St. X with a big opportunity. The pick from Andrew Brown, and had it inside Crusader territory, and on the completion had it down in the red zone. But that one came back as well. Down inside the 20-yard line, back to their own 32-yard line with 32 seconds left, making it 3rd and 35. And Moeller would like to take a timeout, see if they can make something of these penalties from the Bombers. Meyer halftime report coming up very shortly. We'll have, of course, your first half stats and highlights. We will have both high school marching bands on the field. And even before that, Anthony, you have not yet experienced our tug of war right before we go to halftime.
Tug of war?
You did not know you were involved in that?
No, who's my team?
It's you.
Oh, me, just me?
It's you, I believe, against the cheerleaders of both schools. And you have to walk down very quickly.
Quickly down, all the way down. Me walk down quickly?
What a beautiful stadium here at St. X.
Wow.
But I'll tell you what, to get up to the booth, you have to be a 6-day-a-week workout guy.
I'll tell you what.
Because it is a climb. You could do a zip line all the way down to the field, and it would take you 30 seconds.
That would be fun. I don't know about walking down back up again.
We're going to work on that, man.
That would be a lot of fun. Take a zip line right down to the middle of the X on the 50-yard line.
Booth rides. I like it. 3rd and 35 for the Bombers, with the ball back at their 32-yard line.
Then you got to pull me back up with the one.
No. That's the other end of the tug of war I can't be a part of. Still trying to sort things out here. Looking to the clock with 37 seconds left on it. They'll send 3 wide to the right on this 3rd and 35 for O'Toole. And give it straight to her. A little bit of a hole, and he's breaking out near side. And he will take it out to the 45-yard line before he's dropped at the 46 by Kendall Walker. Well short of the first down. And stopping the clock is Moeller with 33 seconds remaining in the first half. They have 2 timeouts.
They started that from their own 32. It was a really nice run, but they got to get over to the Moeller 32.
That's right. I apologize. Taking their second timeout, they have only 1 timeout now remaining with 33 seconds to go. And not a potent offense so far in the first half to give you any confidence in a 30-second drive.
Exactly.
Hey, kick off your Sunday by reliving your college football Saturday with Jeff Hogan and Buckeye Replay. Then hear what Coach Tressel has to say about the game on Buckeye Football Week tomorrow, starting at 9 on Fox Sports Ohio.
Big game tonight for the Buckeyes, huh?
You think? Yeah, this one will be huge as Joe Pa trying to get it done for the first time since the 70s out at the Horseshoe. Now, here's some numbers that will shock you if you're a Crusader fan. Hurd 14 carries on the night for 58 yards. Moeller has 68 yards total offensively. Fruitiger to let it go on 4th down and 22. And you know who's back. Harris is back with Williford. They don't want to go to Harris. Williford will let it hop, and it will take a Bomber bounce inside the 20. Got 80 yards to go in 25 seconds.
I think the coach said, see number 3 out there in the white jersey? I do not want the football going towards him.
Yeah. And that would be a wise call.
Yep.
And if you're a punter, you know what coming back to the sideline means if you don't do that.
And he did a good job taking it out.
As far away from number 3 as he possibly could.
Completely on the other side of the field.
Hendricks will go shotgun with 2 wide to the left and 1 more wide right on 1st down. Just inside the 20. And he'll look for a man. And he's got Duncan, but he could not hold on. He was waving a button and calling it a catch.
Wow.
Calling it a catch across the 40-yard line.
We have to see the
We got to see this one again. How do you call this a catch?
That was a nice throw by Hendricks. And let's see if it was a catch by Duncan. He goes up.
We got a flag on the field as well. How do you call that a catch?
That did not look like he had possession when he came down with that one.
Well, the sideline ref is going to be saved by a holding penalty coming back on Moeller, because that, although it looked nice in the beginning, was not a catch. Take one more look at Duncan going up for it.
Great job by our crew here. You see him going up, gets his hands on it, comes down, and the ball is, he doesn't even take a step. He gets 1 foot on the ground, and the ball is coming out.
Justinian Mason with the hit. Now, he may have called it a catch and a fumble out of bounds is the only thing that I can guess.
Wow.
But the penalty will bring it back inside the 10-yard line. And Moeller will take its final timeout with 19 seconds remaining on the clock. That's a generous catch and move.
Yeah, exactly.
I think if that one goes up to the booth for replay in any other version, that one comes back down. We have overturned our ruling.
And they don't have a timeout to call.
That is correct. That is correct.
They lose the timeout.
So move it back inside the 10. Penalties, penalties, penalties. The 17th so far today.
Tell you what, the Bomber defense has really stepped it up. Started out, and Moeller moved the ball a little bit, but they made some adjustments, and especially with one number 50, Pat Muldoon, who's been all over Hendricks, all over the backfield. Just had a phenomenal first half, not only as a defensive lineman,
yeah, you bet,
but blocking as an offensive lineman.
1st and 22 from the 8. They'll run it straight up the middle. Auburn will take it just short of the 15-yard line, and the clock is stopped. St. X will stop the clock with 14 seconds to go, and guess who? 5-0. Pat Muldoon on the stop. Well, Moeller is creeping up on 100 yards. Unfortunately, that's in penalties. 98 yards in penalties so far, which is 30 more than they have generated in offense.
Well, I tell you what, Coach Rodenberg at halftime, I mean, I'm sure he's already not really excited about it on the sideline during the first half, but he'll be able to close those doors at halftime. And man, that is just a way that just kills you, kills you, kills you. And with things not going that well as an offense to begin with, and then you had all those penalties, all that yardage, man.
Well, the only offense they were able to generate was after a St. X fumble, deep in Bomber territory, and were able to cash it in for a touchdown and the first score of the game. Since then, they have done nearly nothing. Second down and 15 with the ball at the 14-yard line. Hendricks rolling and running. Nice move. Across the 25. And he is drilled out of bounds by Pete Leeds. Here's your fullback on the other side.
Wow.
Just short of a first down. Clock stopped with 5 seconds to go, and Hendricks will field that one at halftime.
Give Hendricks some credit. He does not shy away from Pete Leeds right here. He puts his shoulder down after he makes right there Kuechly miss, which is a heck of a play, and he's going to try to run over somebody.
Mason was the one who got the nice lick on him after Leeds got his hand on him, and that will take us. No, they stopped the clock one more time with 1 second left. St. X not going to go to halftime without using all of their timeouts. Michael Hervey in on the stop. That is their third first down of the first half.
Wow.
I've seen another offense that I'm going to see tomorrow that has been a lot like that in first halves.
Yep. Let me guess who you're talking about.
You take a wild one. I'm taking an early morning flight out to Houston, and they will let the clock run. We're hoping that the Bengals can get win number 1 in their 8th try against the Texans tomorrow. Here, one of these teams is going to the playoffs. One of them is going home. We've reached the end of one. St. X up 14-7. Our halftime report with Meyer coming up right after this. But first, let's head on down to the field. Dave Lapham Jr.
Coach Speck, a little bit of a slow start, but you really got in a groove after that. Your offense started clicking. Your defense really stepped up.
Yeah, we're killing ourselves with penalties right now. Yeah, we got to play smarter. It's It's a great game. It's a GCL game. These are great games to be in, but right now we're not playing very smart. Way too many mental mistakes, too many penalties.
Other than that, any other keys for the second half?
Well, I think defensively we've got to we're doing a nice job of mixing and matching coverages. We're getting good pressure up front, and we got to continue to run the ball. We just get back to it. We got to get rid of penalties, but Moeller's in the same boat. They've got a lot of penalties being called on them too. So I'm sure John's going to tell them the same thing. I'm going to tell my guys, you got to start playing smarter.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Back up to you, Brad.
Dave, thanks very much. All right, here it is. Anthony, you didn't get down in time.
I was going to run down there, but I think the third quarter would have been over by the time I got down there.
The Toyota tug of war as the students from each side, and Moeller gets the win on the tug of war. The students compete against one another. First team to pull each other across is the winning team, and that is the Crusaders. The visiting team gets it done, and they get a big Fox Sports Ohio Game of the Week t-shirt. Congratulations, gentlemen. Our Meyer halftime report is coming up next. 14-7 St. X at half.
Welcome back to the Meyer halftime report here at Balaban Field at St. Xavier Stadium. We've got a GCL showdown, 14-7 St. Xavier. Moeller struck first early in the first quarter, take a 7-0 lead, but St. X bounced back, playing great defense, and really got a clicking offense to take a 14-7 lead here at halftime. And this game now has become, as the events of today have unfolded, it's a win and you're in for the playoffs for Division I Region 4. So not only GCL rivalry on the line, a berth to the playoffs on the line tonight. And part of the halftime Meyer halftime report tonight, we're going to take a look at the Moeller High School Marching Band. The Moeller Marching Band in color guard. The band is under the direction of Chris Zergis and Bob Browning. The color guard instructor is Caitlin Corbett. The band is led on the field by drum major Nick Fazio. The guard captain is Caitlin Schlee. This year's show features the music of Chicago and Earth, Wind, and Fire. The show is going to begin with the Chicago classic Make Me Smile. The band will then continue with a 25 or 6-4 featuring the Moeller percussion section. And they now feature the senior trombonist Stephen Bear on the Chicago ballad King of Might Have Been. And the show will conclude with In the Stone by Earth, Wind, and Fire. The Moeller Band has a long tradition of excellence. They've been rated superior ratings at adjudicated festivals, have performed on TV at the Football Hall of Fame. And last year, the band traveled to New York City for the concert tour and is going to return to Washington, D.C. in the spring of 2010. Here is the Moeller Marching Band. That was the Moeller Crusaders Marching Band and Color Guard featuring the music of Earth, Wind, and Fire in Chicago. Coming up next on the Meyer Halftime Report is the Bomber Marching Band as St. X leads 14-7 at the half. It's the Meyer Halftime Report at Balaban Field at St. Xavier Stadium, and the St. Xavier Bombers lead the Moeller Crusaders 14-7 in a GCL showdown, not only for GCL bragging rights, but also for a trip to the Division I Region 4 playoffs. Courtesy of Don Bosco Prep winning this afternoon, St. Xavier and Moeller, whoever wins tonight is in the playoffs and will face #1 seed Coleraine at Coleraine next weekend. It's a big game tonight for both teams. Next up on the Halftime Report, we're going to listen to the Bomber Marching Band. The Bomber Marching Band is directed by David Thomas. It sports 85 students and is a show band compared to a competition band. Tonight's show for the Bomber Marching Band is an AC/DC halftime show. The songs featured tonight are You Shook Me All Night Long and Back in Black. Here come the Bomber Marching Band.
Welcome back to the Meyer Halftime Report. Brad Johansson alongside Anthony Munoz. As we take a look at the first half highlights, and there wasn't a whole lot of them, Anthony.
It really wasn't. Right here, nice rollout by Hendricks, making a nice throw to his big tight end Schneider for the first score for the Moeller Crusaders.
His 6th TD on the year.
After that, not a whole lot of offense by Moeller. Right here, you see the pass to Tony Harris, but he lays it on the ground. Nice play by Kuechly, stripping the ball, and the Bombers take it.
Herman comes up with it, and then it goes to the big man, Pete Lees. Not once, but twice. A little shake after the score.
Pretty good dance there by big fullback Pete Lees, and once again goes right up the middle. Muldoon and Vance leading the way.
Well, the number one stat that you're going to come up with that affected this one is penalty yards. 98 for Moeller to go along with their 91 total yards. St. X didn't do much better with 74 penalty yards.
They really didn't. As you heard Coach Beck going in right before halftime, not real excited about all the penalties. And of course, Coach Rodenberg, I'm sure, is the same way. But I mean, you have more penalty yards than total yards. That's not good. And you're only down 7 points. That St. X defense had a pretty good first half.
17 penalties in the first half. You see the time of possession and how it stretched in favor of St. X, but they were only able to turn that into 7 more points. And because of the deferred decision by Moeller as they won the coin toss, they will receive the football with a chance to even this thing up on first possession. And a flag on the field. Wow. Which would appear to be offside on the kicking team.
Wow. Not good.
We have dead ball, encroachment on the kicking team, 5-yard penalty, re-kick.
5-yard penalty whistle against St. Xavier takes the kickoff back to the Moeller 35-yard.
That's the first
Wellington orthopedic, Moran and Associates, Xavier University.
Okay, what more do I need to tell them? Just spent the whole halftime probably going over, playing smart.
I'd like to thank Dr.
The coach is out of his mind. You see what Tony Harris did in the first half. And St. X does not want the ball to go to him. Ian Hundley is back there along with Tony Harris.
I'm surprised they're not in some I formation back there receiving and kind of disguising who's going to get the football.
Frudiger let it go, and he'll hit it straight up, and Harris going to get it at the 15. Breaking out with a stiff arm. Will come near side. Oh, that's a late hit as he goes tumbling out of bounds.
Wow.
No flag as he gets pushed and comes
and
hobbling.
Limping. Yep.
Tony Harris
slow on his right foot as he comes off. Taken down by Vincent Torchia out of bounds.
Very close. Right here, he's taking up the middle. He starts to his left. He sees some blue jerseys, and he'll lose one tackler. Pretty good move on Tony Harris's part. But the Bombers doing a good job, and defender kind of slips a little bit, and that was a close one.
Yeah, Torchia was out of bounds from going down as well. So no harm, no foul. 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line from the Crusaders. Trying to get the offense going, and Hendricks will try and do it himself. Not much there, but backs for a couple of yards out across the 38-yard line before Nigel Muhammad takes him down. Take a look at what Hendricks did in the first half on his passing numbers. 8 of 11.
Completion rate pretty good, but not a whole lot of yards. He had the one pick.
Quick hit and almost there on that side. Nick Weston was there, and it was in his hands. He didn't expect the ball to come to him as he was going to McCluskey.
Not a good thrown ball there. That ball was probably one of the worst he threw. He's thrown all night. McCluskey was open.
Now, I'm not sure that I can be corrected. I don't think that pick was Hendricks. I think that was Eichelon's pick.
That's right.
So we've given that to Hendricks, and it's not his. 3rd and 5 from the 38. And that will be a first down. Taken by Patrick Donovan in front of Kuechly, and that one will work.
That's right. That was a jump pass by Eichelon.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
And he had his big man Schneider out there, overthrew him. Gave St. X a chance, but the penalties pushed them back and didn't capitalize on that turnover. So a rare first down for the Crusaders on their first drive. 1st and 10 from the 46, and almost picked off by Weston again. juggled it, and he had golden goalposts on his mind. Not on the same page with his receiver that time.
Nope, not at all. Man, that was almost 6 the other way. Quick drop, throws the football. His wide receiver's going in, and wow.
That was Duncan.
Weston could have had him 6 there if he holds that one.
2nd and 10 from the 46. Across the middle. And upended into Bomber territory, and should be enough for a first down inside the 45-yard line before Kuechly takes Donovan down, but he's taken 2 to move the chains for the Crusaders.
That's exactly what O'Toole was doing in the first half for the Bombers. Those nice quick passes, putting them in a position to be successful.
Officials timeout to check on the spot. Sure looked like they got it, but they'll check it and see anyway. Tony Harris being checked on the sideline with his special shoes, getting spatted on the right ankle as we saw him limping off after the kickoff return.
Putting a little extra tape on there.
See if they'll just call up to me, I'll tell them whether they need to come out and measure.
No direct line down to the head official?
No direct line. I don't think they really care what I have to say. So Harris doesn't appear to be in pain as he's getting retaped. My guess is we'll see him again shortly. 1st and 10 from the 44. The Bombers, a rare venture into that blue territory. Hendricks again on the quarterback draw. Well, he moves. He doesn't look like he has the quickest feet, but he sure makes the right decisions down to the 31-yard line before Will Carroll takes him down.
You're right, Brad. It looked like he was going to be tackled. All of a sudden, he sidesteps and does a tremendous job. Justinian Mason, who missed and just grabbed his towel right there, doing a nice job running the football.
He is their leading ground gainer. 6 carries, 42 yards. 1st and 10 from the 31. Has it again. And lets it go this time. Complete for a nice 5, maybe 6-yard pickup as he got Trent Williford in front of Nick Weston. Good two-way go on that. Could have gone, decided to let it run.
Exactly, and that's exactly the point I was going to make. He took it right up to the line of scrimmage, hoping that DB, kind of read a run and stepped up. So Hendricks doing a nice job before he unloads that.
2nd and 4. Looking end zone. Jump ball incomplete into double coverage and knocked away. Weston is there on every pass on this possession. And we'll bring up 3rd down.
Very nice coverage by Weston there, right there.
They went to the big man for the jump ball, Jeremy Duncan.
Weston had great position. Excellent. Duncan had to go over the back to try to catch it. The ball just underthrown a little bit.
Hendricks trying to do it himself again and gets close, maybe a yard short, down to about the 22-yard line. Kuechly and Akajobi again on the stop. It will be 4th down. Looks like a good yard. And for the first time, the Crusaders are moving the ball. So what is John Rodenberg going to do? He's going to take a timeout and talk it over.
Remaining in the 3rd quarter. Timeout, Crusaders.
It's like about a yard short, maybe a couple yards short. Tell you what, the way Hendricks has been running the football, I wouldn't be surprised if they roll him out, give him a little run pass option.
Let's head down on the field, Dave Lapham Jr.
Hey, one of the great traditions at Moeller High School is the Jerry Faust Hall of Fame, and Moeller has been able to accumulate quite a list of stars in that Hall of Fame. You've got Jerry Faust, who basically started the program and ran up all those state championships and national championships and went on to coach at Notre Dame. And one of his, then it came the baseball stars, Ken Griffey Jr., Barry Larkin, a couple of Major League Hall of Famers, and Barry's brothers, Byron Larkin, who went on to start Xavier in basketball, and Mike Larkin. Coach Mike Cameron, who is the leader in wins in Ohio Division I baseball. Bob Crable, one of the best high school football players ever in the city.
On 4th and 1, and they did not get it. Stopped immediately as Icavone barely got the ball before he was hit by Michael Hervey. I don't think this one's even close.
I agree with you, Brad.
Michael Kirby on the defensive stop for St. Xavier.
You look at it right up the middle. The center doesn't get a whole lot of push.
First down, St. X. So with only 3 first downs in the first half for the Crusaders, they had 3 on that drive alone, but can't make a 3rd down conversion and can't make a 4th down conversion. They were 2 of 6 on 3rd downs in the first half. That one didn't work. The 4th down didn't work. And just because they moved the ball, they get nothing for it. You see O'Toole's numbers in the first half. And he has been effective. Pitch to Hurd. Flag down on the field. Wow.
Nevin Hurd is the
and so it
carrier.
goes.
Penalty marker on the play.
Tell you what, Billy Wursel did a nice job getting penetration. He didn't make the tackle, but he was in the backfield, slowed down Hurd.
And another holding call.
2 quick penalties, one on the opening kickoff for the Bombers, and now in their first offensive play, a holding penalty.
I believe we're at 19.
Holding on the offense, 10-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
So move it back to the 10-yard line, see if we can see where it happened.
That's leading the way for. That's where I don't know. That's where the penalty was thrown, but I don't know if that was. He had a grasp on the defender or not.
1st and 22, back at the 10. They're loading up the box for Hurd, and they got him. I mean, everybody was on the line for the Crusaders, and will drop him for a 2-yard loss back to the 8-yard line. Galvin and Powell.
Great penetration by that Crusader defense. Right there, you see both Galvin and Powell, as you mentioned, in the backfield. Galvin is playing a pretty good defensive game for the Crusaders in the backfield quite a bit. Buddy Powell right there to help him out.
Illinois, IU, Purdue, Wisconsin, Northwestern all want Galvin. 2nd down and 24 with the ball at the 8. Low snap, but O'Toole looking to throw. He's under pressure, going to go with it. And will slide just across the 10-yard line. The mark at about the 13 there. McClellan and Powell again on another stop, and a lot of people chasing O'Toole.
Smart move making that slide too by O'Toole right here. He's a low snap, but he handles it and he starts to roll to his left. He sees that there's nothing there, so he pulls it down and runs. He sees the white shirts and he slides. Avoid the contact.
Another long 3rd down. This one 3rd and 19 with the ball back at the 13-yard line. Crusaders desperate for a stop, and they just give it to Hurd. He's lucky to get out of the backfield and won't get to the 15-yard line. Hundley was there and had some help. Got a bunch of help from Ben Schneider, and the Crusaders were up on the line and ready to go. And look who's back and ready.
Got his ankle taped and ready to go.
He should hobble just a little bit before he returns this.
That's right. Just kind of drag that right foot a little bit.
He's got Williford back with him. Waiting on the punt from Danny Fruniger.
They should get excellent field position here.
Low line drive. Williford can't field it. It takes a St. X bounce. And they get it away from Harris. And we'll roll down to the 41-yard line. So Moeller will get it back. Down 14-7. Last playoff spot on the. Welcome back on a beautiful night for football to the Saturday Night High School Football, presented by your Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Toyota dealer. 7:06 to go in the 3rd. Brad Johansson along with the Hall of Famer Anthony Munoz in a big GCL battle for the final playoff spot in Division I. Winner moves on. Loser goes home. It's St. X up 14-7. We still can't find the cleanliness we were looking for in this game.
Exactly.
Lots of penalties so far tonight, 19 total. Hendricks. He can make something happen. And he's not an easy one to go down. We'll take it to the 49-yard line. Keekly, Golan, and Lee's in on the stop.
And I tell you what, Brad, he got away from some pretty good defensive players. He rolls to his left. He doesn't see anything. Comes back to his right, and that's Pat Muldoon right there.
Dead to rights.
Wow. And he gets away, shakes him off, and he makes a couple other good moves as he runs down a nice game.
Hendricks again under pressure, tosses it incomplete to Tony Harris. Bunch of Bombers in on him. Nick Weston out in coverage again. Wherever Hendricks wants to throw it, Weston is there.
And more times than not, he's throwing with some blue jerseys close by or hitting.
Big third down and 3 from the 48. Got the first down, got Snyder, and he juggled it but hung on. Justinian Mason on the stop, but not before he got enough. Into Bomber territory, down to about the 47-yard line.
Nice quick throw. Right here, Hendricks takes the ball and unloads in a hurry, and Snyder coming across the middle.
Watch him just hang on to this.
Oh, taking another hit as he unloads the football.
Hendricks took the hit. Snyder did just hang on, and Hendricks will go on a quarterback draw again, and another flag and another hold. Lees is on top of the pile. He got a bunch of help, but this one's coming back too. Penalty number 20.
Wow. Of course, number 50 for the Bombers, their defensive lineman, Pat Muldoon over there. They're probably holding on him. They can't contain him, so they're trying to just grab him.
They could just as easily hand the ball off to Pat Muldoon as much as he's been in the backfield.
Yep.
See one more time. There he is again. And yes, he's getting held. Seavy's struggling. You don't think it was?
It's questionable. He had his arms fully extended.
You could probably call it on any play, as they say, right?
That's true, but I don't know about that one.
First and 23 from the 40. Dump off to Dyer. And he's making something happen. The takedown at midfield, and it was Will Carroll who would not let him go. He gets outside of that one. He's got a long way to run.
Will Carroll on the defensive stop.
Love to get it into Dyer's hands and let him electrify.
Yep, of course, as we mentioned earlier, just coming back from an injury. Not many touches, but right here he shows that he can cut right here. Pretty good. He's looking halfway decent here.
Hendricks to throw. Muldoon on him. All night long.
Well, Brad, the offensive linemen have been struggling blocking Muldoon, and right then Icavone tried to block him, so I don't know if they're going to expect a fullback to block him when the offensive linemen have been struggling. See right here, he goes to the outside, and Icavone gives it a shot, but Muldoon's just too much for the fullback.
Third down and 16. How often have we called it tonight? 1 of 6 on third down conversions in the first half. Hendricks gets out of trouble and throws incomplete. He didn't have a whole lot of time. This time David Herman all over him. And the Crusaders will be forced to punt again.
Give that Bomber defense a lot of credit because Moeller has been getting the football in some pretty good field position, but they have not been able to do a thing.
I mean, we talked about how field position was so big on the mind of both coaches. It has meant very little this evening because of the ineptitude of the offense.
Right.
Or the strength of the defense.
Yeah, exactly.
Adam Schaefer to punt. Drew Gumbala is back, waiting at his 15. A high kick away from Gumbala. Will hit short at the 28. Take a Crusader bounce inside the 20. Inside the 15 and down inside the 14-yard line. So the Bombers are pushed back. 4:28 to go in the third. It is 14-7 St. X.
These days you can buy more things in more places than ever before. You'd think that would make things simpler.
I'd like a venti quad cappuccino.
But it just makes it more complicated. That's why at Grange, we still sell our auto insurance through independent agents. It's a far smoother process than buying from a stranger over some 1-800 line. It's good to know what you're buying and who you're buying it from.
Your partner in protection.
Wednesday at 6:30, Fox Sports Ohio is your all-access pass to UC football on Bearcat Sports Weekly with Coach Brian Kelly. Breaking down the game and getting ready for the next opponent on Bearcat Sports Weekly with Coach Brian Kelly Wednesday at 6:30 on Fox Sports Ohio. They had a tough one in Connecticut today, didn't they?
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it, but they were What was the final on that? Did you see the final?
I did not see the final. I know they struggled on third down, went through at least 3 quarters without converting a third down, and offensively just not themselves today. 1st and 10 from the 13-yard line for St. X. Shovel pass. Hurd has a little bit of room, and Hurd has a first down. Jaunting out of bounds across the 25 before Ben Schneider runs him out.
Hurd happy, big number 78, the left tackle leading the way. A little shovel pass. You see big 78. Nice block there on Galvin, just enough to not allow him to make the tackle. And Hurd making a nice run.
Mike Bloom, our our spotter, says it was UConn 40, UC 16. That was an ugly 4th quarter.
Last I saw it was 17-16.
From the 25. O'Toole under pressure. He'll go down. Big hit by Nick Galvin one more time. He's been in the backfield all night long.
He really has, doing a nice job tonight, rushing the pass. You see him, number 56, going right up the middle. The center comes over, but he can't pick him up. And Galvin right there making a nice little spin move on Nevin Hurd also when he's back in the backfield. Nice play, making sure that O'Toole is down.
2nd and 15. Boy, these two teams have been in 2nd and 3rd and long all night long. Nevin Hurd, nice spin move out across the 25 to the original line of scrimmage as he takes a pop from Morsel and Walker.
Kendall Walker had 12.5 tackles last week. We haven't called his name a whole lot. Right there, he makes a nice play coming up to line of scrimmage and working off the offensive lineman right there. Nice pursuit, and also Wursel there to help him out.
Not much running room for Hurd tonight. 3rd and 10. Ball at the 25-yard line. Crusaders defense standing tall. Hurd up the middle. Big pop straight through, and there's your man.
Kendall Walker.
He said apparently you hadn't called his name enough, and he heard you. Maybe there's something from the booth down to the helmets.
Sophomore, Kendall Walker. Like I said, 12.5. Right here, you'll see him. Right there in your screen, number 57. Kendall Walker doing a nice job reading the backfield, and then all of a sudden, look at this. We talked about the discipline, about how both defenses tackle extremely well. And right there, he dipped into it, he wrapped up and made sure the running back Hurd was not going anywhere. Kendall Walker, talking to the defensive coordinator, great instincts. Of course, he leads the team in tackles.
Talk about pad level on tackling for both these teams. They do it so fundamentally well as Harris lets it go over his head. Nice punt by Danny Fruniger. Finally takes a little bit of a Moeller bounce just across the 30-yard line, and that's where they will mark it. Crusaders will have it with 2:09 to go in the 3rd. Let's head back down the field. Dave Lapham Jr.
Hey guys, these Bombers have an alumni that's in the running for the Heisman. It's Dominic Randolph, who's a senior quarterback at Holy Cross in the running for the Division I AA Heisman, getting some talk there. He went 28 of 39 for 330 yards and 3 touchdowns. It was his 14th career 300-yard game. Having a great showing in college career, former Bomber.
Yeah, they have some former Bombers working it out as this Crusader, David Schneider, takes it out for about 4. They'll give him to the 35 for 5 yards as Will Carroll takes him down.
35-yard line, 2nd and about 5.
Yeah, those are successful Saturdays when you can throw for 300 on a regular basis.
Yep, that makes it nice.
2nd down and 5. Hendricks with a quick hit to Tony Harris. And he will be run out at about the 38-yard line. We're looking at about a 3rd and 2. Justinian Mason there. Crusaders just trying to pick it up in little chunks so they're not sitting back at 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12, 3rd and 15.
When they get in trouble is when they try to deep drop by the quarterback and take a lot more time to complete the pass.
Hendricks on the quarterback draw, and guess who's there? Mr. Muldoon says, I don't think so. What a night he's having.
What a night he's having, and what a nightmare he's been for Andrew Hendricks. Right here, you see him going against Seavey, and then just too much for him to handle.
Just shakes off the block.
Right here. Just kind of watches, and then when he needs to make the play, he makes it.
I mean, and Hendricks said, I got a hole, I've got this first down, and here comes this big right arm, says no way. So Adam Schaefer's out to punt on 4th and 1, and Grambala is back. They get it with just over 2 minutes. They punt it with just under 1 minute to go in the third. Low kick. Grambala will field. Has a little bit of room right side. Will take it across the 40 as he is hog-tied and dragged out there by Tony Harris. It just makes you laugh. You see number 3 everywhere, doesn't it?
Number 3, number 50, and number 56 for the Crusaders. Those 3 guys, that's Muldoon, Galvin, and Tony Harris.
O'Toole back out on the field as we look at our possible candidates and the quarterbacks on both sides. But you know, the way this thing's going, Anthony, we may have to pull up some defensive stats on some guys to pull our Toyota players of the game today.
Exactly.
Mr. Muldoon is going to figure into that prominently. We may have another number 56 in Lee's figuring prominently on that as well. 1st and 10 from the 42. Hendricks with a quick hit. Nice shake and bake by Kuechly. We'll take it out for about 8 yards, out close to midfield before Garrett Mize takes him down.
O'Toole showing the ability to throw on the run right here. He sprints out to the left and then loads it and gives it. But you're right, a nice move by Kuechly right here, making 2, 3. Actually, a couple Moeller defenders miss on the nice run.
6'3", 215-pound senior. And you've heard, goes both ways and does it very well. 2nd and 2 at midfield for the Bombers. Nevin Hurd exploits a little bit of a hole for a first down into Crusader territory at the 46 before Williford and Walker taken down.
Walker again there to wrap him up around the legs, and Williford to assist him on the tackle. But, we're seeing now in this quarter here the instincts that the young Kendall Walker has playing that middle linebacker position. Of course, a linebacker position that's not foreign to their family, as I played with his father, Kevin Walker, with the Bengals. He was a linebacker of the University of Maryland.
Nice to see Kevin before the game today as we creep down to the final seconds of the third. 1st and 10 from the 46. O'Toole to throw. And looking long right side. Has a man out there, and it's complete for Holker. Trevor Holker goes up and brings it down inside the 20-yard line, and the Bombers are in business in front of Ian Hundley. Flag down on the field, though. Flag down on the field, and we've got another hold. Are you kidding me?
I tell you what, if I was O'Toole after making that nice throw, oh, he's had it. I mean, he has had it. Joe O'Toole made a very, very nice throw there to Trevor Holker, but it's going the other way.
He had plenty of protection, and apparently we see why. Wow. O'Toole's been everything they wanted him to be.
And 23.
From the spot of the hold, they'll make it 1st and 23.
That should be the quarter, shouldn't it?
And that should be the end of 3.
The quarter cannot end on a penalty. We will have one on time down.
Fair enough.
All right.
We'll go one more. Take a look at it one more time, and a nice catch by Trevor Holker that goes for naught.
Tell you what, O'Toole makes a nice throw, but it is, you're right. Holker has to turn to the outside, makes the catch.
Take a look at the penalties tonight. Goodness gracious. Wow. 216 yards in penalties. Nevin Hurd straight up the middle, and that will take us to the end of 3 as Kendall Walker's in on one more stop. We will switch sides of the field, and it is all defense through the third. One more quarter to decide the final playoff spot. Back after this.
Tonight's game on FSN Ohio is brought to you by J.J. Huddle, Ohio's high school sports leader, and by Beacon Orthopedic. Beacon has opened its 3rd office in Batesville, Indiana. Weekday and weekend sports injury clinic appointments are available by calling 513-354-3700. Toll-free number from Indiana, call 1-888-773-4353.
Back to start the fourth quarter, the final one. Winner goes into the playoffs. Loser goes home. And it has been a penalty fest. 21 of them for over 200 yards. And offense is trying to find their way. 2nd and 19 after a penalty from the 45-yard line. Not much there.
Kendall Walker. Tell you what, he's taken over, and it'd be interesting to see what would have happened if all these penalties would not be taking place, to see if the offense could have beat both offensive, could do anything, because they're making big plays, but it'd be called back on penalties. Right here, Kendall Walker filling the hole, making a nice tackle on Evan Hurd.
You give him one on that. That's 8.5 tackles for Kendall Walker as we start the fourth. Luke Kuechly on the other side with 8 tackles, 3 of those for loss. We talk about Nick Galvin. 3 tackles, 4 assists, 2.5 for loss.
Hurd, big hole. Breaking out inside the 30. Can't keep his balance and goes down. Bombers in business. Tripped up by Hundley.
Tell you what, Sam Edmondson, number 71, on a tackle trap, making a nice block on Galvin. Just enough for Hurd. And right here, he's in the secondary. Nice run, excellent block. Right here, you see the big tackle, number 71. Nice adjustment right there. Had to turn back just enough on Galvin to give Hurd the corner.
22 carries now, 104 yards from Nevin Hurd very quietly. Give it to him again, looking for a hole, not much there this time. Pickup of maybe 2 down to the 22. Stephen Powell and Williford in on the stop. They may have given him 3 on the first.
You know, we saw Big Sam Edmondson make that block, and it's not the easiest thing for one of those big guys. They're full sprint, and that linebacker comes for him to make just enough an adjustment to get him and give Hurd that corner. So that's a very, very nice play by the right tackle.
A rare moment that we've seen in this game with a breakout run, and Hurd has the Bombers in business, already up a touchdown. Looking for a little cushion. With Cummins in motion, O'Toole to throw. Looking end zone. And it is knocked away. Was looking for Grumbala. Threw into triple coverage down at the goal line. Snyder and Williford there all over the receiver.
Well, we'll see that O'Toole has a lot of protection. That offensive line, once again, giving them really good protection. But O'Toole makes one of those throws that shouldn't have been made. There's 3 white shirts right there around him. He's lucky that it wasn't intercepted.
3rd down and 7 from the 22. Give it to Hurd. He runs into his own man, stringing it out right side. And Moeller is there as well. He will not get the first down. Down inside the 18-yard line. McAlpin, Wursel were there. Another Crusader lost his helmet.
Hurd doing a nice job taking it up. Nothing there. He bounces out. It looks like it's going to come around the corner, but Wursel right here comes up, makes a nice hit. Along with McAlpin.
St. X 1 of 9 on 3rd down conversions tonight. This a 4th and 3, so they'll send out Danny Frutiger for a 34-yard attempt. From the right hash. O'Toole to hold. Kick is up, and he pushed it. And it's still a 1-score game for the Crusaders. Bend but don't break. It remains 14-7, 9:30, speak it easily. 9:30 to go. We'll be right back after this. Flashback, the Bombers love to remember. A championship year in Division I for the Bombers. Taking home the trophy. With the kid, Luke Massa, at the controls. Steve Speck getting extra cold in the rain. A memory to remember, and they'd like to head back to the playoffs again this year. Try and defend their title. 19 GCL championships,
5 regional championships. And holding on right now to a 7-point lead. Incomplete with a flag on the field. I think that was an early hit.
I'd agree with you.
Will Carroll may have been a little too anxious on the sideline. The Crusaders go and hold St. X on an 8-play, 40-yard drive. 3:10 off the clock. They get nothing with the missed field goal.
Interference on the defense. That'll be a 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Penalty whistle against the Bombers. That is a 15-yard penalty. Takes the ball out to the 35-yard line. First and 10 Crusaders.
Moeller goes back to the hurry up. 1st and 10 from the 35 for Hendricks and company. Quick hit, incomplete, trying to hit Donovan. Couldn't hold on.
Doug Rowland on the defensive coverage for the Bombers. Pass was intended for Patrick Donovan.
And it's getting down to that time. I mean, 9:22 is plenty of time, but for an offense that is doing very little, Crusaders need to make something happen right about now.
It's all about the confidence, too. I mean, you run on the field, and if you're not doing anything, it's a matter of, okay, who's going to make a play instead of saying, I'm going to make the play just like right here.
Hendricks finds a man to make the play. Trent Williford is usually his big 3rd down target. And on 2nd down here, goes for big yardage in front of Andrew Brown and takes it into Bomber territory.
Right here you see good protection by the offensive line. Something that, late there's a little pressure, but for the most part, and then right there, nice catch. Eludes a tackler, goes down the sideline. Tony Harris there to make a nice block.
Hendricks again with time. Going long, Tony Harris had him out there, overthrew him.
Hendricks' pass intended.
With that ankle that he's got wrapped up, looks like it's hurting a little bit.
That is the right ankle that he's limping on, that he hurt on the opening kickoff of the 2nd half. Nick Weston once again out in coverage. And Hendricks is finally getting some time to throw.
Getting a chance to throw it downfield, and that time he had Harris, but overthrew the football. Harris was behind the secondary.
Hendricks again to throw, rolling right. Dump this into the sidelines. And a flag on the field. He got hit after he threw.
Nigel Muhammad, I believe, 49 was over there.
There is a penalty marker in the backfield.
And his teammates say, what are you thinking about?
Cannot afford to do that. You got a 7-point lead, 9 minutes. You're trying to stop the opposing offense, and you force them to throw one away because there's nothing there, and all of a sudden you get a penalty.
That will be the 12th penalty on St. X. And if you add 15, 12 penalties for 135 yards for the Bombers. They've caught up and exceeded Moeller.
Wow. See, that's Coach Speck right there. Man.
There are 2 penalties on the play. We have intentional grounding here, which is a loss of down. All right.
Intentional grounding.
Dead ball. Personal foul.
And we have a dead ball personal foul whistle against St. Xavier.
So we have an intentional grounding on Hendricks. So that would be the 12th penalty on Moeller as you take a look at it. And then just a quick push from Muhammad. And they're trying to figure out what they're going to do with those 2 penalties.
I'm glad they have to figure out.
Loss of down.
Intentional grounding.
And yet they will move it, even on the intentional grounding, forward on the personal foul down to the 30-yard line.
Checks in for the Bombers.
And we'll call it 3rd down and 1. I don't quite understand how you can call intentional grounding as he is about a yard from the sideline. So he's easily out of the tackle box.
I don't understand that call.
3rd and 2 as you look at the 3rd down conversions, which are miserable for both teams. This one is very close as he dumps it to Donovan. David Herman tripped him up, but I believe they have the 1st down.
Move the chains.
So a rare conversion for the Crusaders. As we said, something needs to happen now. They are on the doorstep of the red zone. 32. Inside 9 minutes to play. Down by a touchdown. Hendricks on 1st down will roll right. And has a receiver again. Tony Harris still has enough left in him. And another flag with a late hit as he goes out of bounds at the 15-yard line. That'll be half the distance to the goal. And it will be 1st and goal for the Crusaders.
Man, and that just continues to drive you nuts when penalties like that happen.
Andrew Brown on the defensive tackle for the Bombers.
We continue to lose the refs, Mike, but we do know it will be half the distance and 1st and goal inside the 10-yard line.
Let's take a look here. Nice move by Harris. Makes the catch. He's out.
Ticky-tack.
Yeah, you know, if that's the call, I mean, they were engaged going out.
Questionable calls on this drive. 1st and goal from the 7-yard line. Hendricks on the naked boot left side. Herman can't get him. And Hendricks will not go down. Wow.
Tell you what, he's a tough runner. I mean, he, like you said earlier, it doesn't look like he's moving quickly, but he's got a lot of power.
Take a look at Herman. He's got him dead to rights here.
He's got it tucked. He's going all the way. Little stop. And he just shakes him off. Just shakes him off, continues to run one after another, and all of a sudden it takes about 4 blue shirts to stop him, bring him down.
Pete Lees is down on the field and being attended to after this play. Let's see if we can find out what happened to him. And he is right there. He got tripped up and upended, so he got somebody at his ankles as he went diving forward. He was not at the bottom of the pile, but went flying before the tackle happened. Spot the ball down at the 5-yard line. And it will be 2nd and goal for the Crusaders from there.
Once again, at the end of tonight's game, we'll be making presentations for the Most Valuable Player Award from the Great American Rivalry Series. And we'll also be making the post-game championship trophy award.
Take a look one more time. You'll see Pete Lees. Look for 56 coming across here.
From the left side right there, number 56.
St. Xavier. Attention high school sports fans, get a free 30-day trial to Cincinnati's new Rivals.com.
He got the ankle, and I don't know whether it was on the landing because he went airborne and came down. It could be just about anything.
Nobody really fell on the ankle.
Free access to QueenCityHigh.com.
Plenty of attention. Sitting up now.
High school fans, remember, get a 30-day free trial to Cincinnati's new Rivals.com high school website, Queen City.
He's up.
He says, I'm going to walk off by myself, he says.
2 touchdowns on the night for Pete Lees. At one point had 3 carries, 8 yards, 2 touchdowns, both of them down the goal line with great offensive line blocking. He's responsible for both of the Bombers' scores. 2nd and goal from the 5. Hendricks under pressure. Will dump this one off. He's got a touchdown. Ichabone is in the end zone, and we're a point away from a tie ball game.
Wow.
Hendricks rolled out, had several Bombers chasing him, and found Ichabone wide open at the 2, and he took it in. A 7-play, 80-yard drive with only 1:17 off the clock as Moeller ties this thing up. Apparently there must be something, Anthony, from what we're seeing here to what's going down in some of the helmets, because they are responding. Corey Smith to add the extra point. The all-important extra point is good, and we are all tied up at 14 with 8:13 to go. One more time, Andrew Hendricks with a nice roll, runs the drive, gets it to Ichabone in the end zone. And we've got 8:13 left to define the final spot in the playoffs in Division I.
These days you can buy more things in more places than ever before. You'd think that would make things simpler.
I'd like a venti quad cappuccino.
But it just makes it more complicated. That's why at Grange, we still sell our auto insurance through independent agents. It's a far smoother process than buying from a stranger over some 1-800 line. It's good to know what you're buying and who you're buying it from.
Your partner in protection.
Sage Ichabone, the touchdown from 5 yards out, getting taped up on his left ankle. Tradition. Start a new one this season at Cincinnati.com. It's the best place online to view all the action
for your school and team. And now you can get a live game score direct to your mobile phone as it happens with our high school football text alerts. Visit Cincinnati.com, search high school sports to sign up today. Coons and Lions back. Receive the kick from Ethan McAlpin. Directional into the end zone, and it will come back out to the 20. Nice kick by McAlpin, and Cummins couldn't get it before it got across the goal line.
First and 10 Bombers at their own 20.
Take a look at this one, directed by Hendricks.
Little fake, little roll to the right here. As you mentioned, some Bombers were chasing, but Hendricks loads it off or throws it to Ikavone before the pressure can get to him. Touchdown, extra point made, and now we got a tie ball game.
So first and 10. Every play important now. Bombers at their own 20-yard line. O'Toole under pressure. Galvin got him from behind. Never saw him.
On the hit for the Crusaders.
Nick Galvin, 6 feet, 210. And the junior has been a pest in the backfield for the Bombers.
He comes from the defensive left all the way across. You see him right here. And O'Toole has not a clue that he's coming from the backside.
Clubbed him. Got a club on that left wrist.
He does have a club.
6 tackles, 2 sacks for number 56 tonight. Second down and 13 from the 17-yard line. They empty the backfield. O'Toole with a shovel to Hurd. Hurdles a couple tacklers, but one gets the ankle. Takes him down at the 24-yard line. Ben Schneider wouldn't let go.
Ben Schneider with the defensive.
Tell you what, Hurd has been close. He broke one, but he's been close several times of breaking some long runs. They grab him by the ankles or by the legs and bring him down.
He has been most of their offense tonight. Third down and 5 from the 25-yard line, and clock has stopped. And now they'll send them to the line. Inside 7 minutes to play. Hurd. Pressure in the backfield. Has to adjust, driving the pile very close to the sticks at the 30-yard line. It will depend on the mark.
Great effort by Hurd, dragging a couple defenders. One of them was Kendall Walker, who was there to make the stop. But I tell you what, Nevin Hurd, the more he runs the ball, the more impressive he is. Right here, it looked like he was going to be stopped back in the backfield, but he changes directions. Great vision, great balance, and then he shows some power right here as 3 defenders are holding on to him.
Inches away. 4th down for the Bombers. Dangerous decision here. O'Toole straight ahead, and they got it.
First and 10 Bombers.
First and 10 behind Woodall and Vance.
Pete Lee's the big fullback.
When you need a yard, you go to 56.
That's right. Doesn't matter that he was on the ground, shaking up a little bit. Just get me in there, coach. Give me the ball on the 4th and short. Vance and Goodall right there.
Nice push.
Woodall, I'm sorry, making a nice push. First down.
Out to the 31-yard line. Coming up on 5:30 to play. Hurd. Man, is he hit. Wow. Kendall Walker. I don't know how we're not going to be able to give away some defensive awards tonight, because some guys have really stepped up big this evening.
You're right, Brad. We start talking about certain individuals, and we mentioned Kendall Walker having the big night last week, and all of a sudden he might have surpassed what he did last week. I don't know. He might be close.
Yeah, he was up to 8.5 going into the 4th quarter. He's got a couple more on this drive. He may be in double digits now already. 2nd down and 9 from the 32-yard line. Quick hit right side.
Wow.
Holkert driving across the 40-yard line, and another first down for the Bombers.
Robbie Williford couldn't stop him, and Holker kept the feet going.
Nice execution on that play by the Bombers. A wide receiver screen, but the impressive thing about it is he had about 2 or 3 offensive linemen out there leading the way. Look at this escort out there. You have Vance and you have Douglas and several other linemen out there making blocks. Nice execution by the Bombers.
From the 43, 1st and 10. Under pressure. Galvin is there again, and it's picked. Crusaders have it. Galvin forced it. Sean McClellan comes up with it. And Moeller goes crazy on the sidelines.
At the Bomber 30-yard line.
Nick Galvin has been a gnat.
Wow.
And an awfully big gnat.
Check it out here. He comes. Kendall Walker occupies Hurd, the running back, and then Galvin comes untouched, forcing the bad throw by O'Toole. Right here, you see it right there. Nice pickup by Hurd, but that leaves Galvin free to make the hit.
And the tide has turned. 4:17 to go. 1st and 10 from the Bombers 30. Tony Harris. Pickup of 9 down to the 21 in front of Justinian Mason.
Justinian Mason on the defensive play and carries to the Bomber.
Galvin with the club. Goodness gracious. 7th reception for Harris for 30 yards. He's a little worked up. 2nd and 1, Auburn. Wow, they're running hard now. New set of downs at the 16-yard line in front of Keekly and Mason, and Keekly's probably in double digits now in tackles.
Offensive line coming off the line of scrimmage right there. Auburn doing a nice job running the football to get the 1st down. This offense has come alive this 2nd half, should say this quarter.
Flag down. Another hold as the snap was given off to Auburn again. How many times can these teams shoot themselves in the foot?
Wow, and I would say it was the gentleman trying to block Muldoon.
Holding. Whistled against the
They
Crusaders.
just give up. Muldoon seems to be unblockable.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat. 1st down.
Head down on the field, Dave Lackey Jr.
Hey, Brad, Corey Smith's long for the Crusaders is 43 yards this year. They were in range. That penalty puts them close, so we'll have to keep an eye on where Moeller ends up on this drive.
Hendricks complete down to the 20-yard line. And the ball seems to be loose. What's the call? No signal yet.
Hendricks' pass is complete on the play.
That's Schneider, and another flag comes down. 2 more at the 20-yard line.
My goodness. I know Hendricks got up slow, and he's still kind of wobbling. I'm not sure what happened to him. But now you got another penalty, and it appears it's going to be against the Bombers. Well, each team's pointing against at each other, so I'm not sure what's going on here.
Steve Speck would like to know. So would John Rodenberg.
We have a dead ball, personal foul, 10-yard penalty, half the distance to the goal, 1st down.
On the Bombers. Wow. Speck wants to know who that was. And it was at the bottom of the pile well after the play was done.
That takes the ball down to the 10-yard line.
So move it down, 1st and goal from the 10.
Right here, Hendricks rolls out. He throws the ball. Schneider catches it. I don't know what's good. They're kind of scrambling for the football. That's all I see.
Keekly's down at the bottom of the pile. And that's where the flag is thrown.
Wow.
I don't see anything happening.
Yeah, I don't either.
Boy, as many flags as we've had, you would think at this point, you don't want them to be quick with the flag. We don't know what was said at the bottom of the pile. But they call it 2nd down on half the distance to the goal. 2nd down and 3 from that spot. Aubin won't get it. Lees was there on the stop. He got help at the 9-yard line. He had to get to the 7. Kuechly was there as well. Kuechly coming into that one with 8 solo tackles and 2 assists. 3 tackles for loss.
What right here you see Lees and Kuechly, sure tacklers. We mentioned that earlier. They wrap them up, and there's no way that those running backs are going to get out of their hands.
A huge 3rd down and 2 from the 9-yard line. Hendricks in discussion with his backs. Rolling, taking it himself, and he's got the 7-yard line. Muldoon makes the stop, but not early enough. Take a look at it one more time.
Run all the way by Hendricks. Little token fake, tucks it in. You can tell right away that he's going to run it. And Muldoon is there to make the tackle, but Hendricks does fall forward after the initial hit.
Now they do not give him the mark. Not a generous spot. It is 4th down and less than a yard.
Wow, big decision here.
Clock ticking down inside, 2:05 to go.
What do you do, Brad? You're the head coach. Quick, you got to make the decision.
Well, you know he's going to run with it with Hendricks. I'm going to guess
timeout and discuss
that they'll give him a 2-way go. They will talk it over. And there has been some serious defensive effort here tonight. We have to mention some of the guys. Kendall Walker, 4 solo, 9 assists.
Wow.
A forced fumble and a fumble recovery. Williford with 9 tackles for him. Nick Galvin, 4 solo, 5 assists, 2 sacks for 8 yards lost, 3 tackles for loss, for a total of 10 yards lost. And on the other side, we said Kuechly in double digits now with 3 tackles for loss. Muldoon only given 4 solo and 2 assists. Wow. We've seen him on a bunch more than that.
Exactly. Not to mention the number of times he's hit the quarterback, maybe not getting a sack.
His pressures are ridiculous.
Exactly.
At this point
But
tonight.
you have to talk about Galvin's hit there that caused the bad pass for the interception. That was a key play.
All right, left tackle. What do you do on 4th and inches, 1:56 going in a tie game, final playoff spot on the line? What do you do?
If I have a kicker, I'm going to kick it and get the 3.
They're not going to do that.
They're not going to do that. So
yes,
actually,
they are.
They are kicking it.
Yes, they are.
Whitehead's in there holding.
It is Corey Smith with Whitehead to hold. 23-yard attempt. On the right hash, Corey Smith got it through. And the Crusaders lead with 1:52 to go. It's 17-14 Moeller.
And didn't Rodenberg tell us that Corey Smith was running from the 40-yard in?
He said he has not missed since game 5. And he said this kid came in, and I didn't think he was anything. But his work ethic has paid off because day in, day out, he has done everything to improve himself. And when it was on the line, he came through.
Tell you what, big call there. You're right. You run for it, try to get the 1st down, or you go in with Corey Smith and kick it. He kicked it right down the middle as they take a 3-point lead with 1:52 left.
23 yards, right hash, Corey Smith. Right down the middle.
Well, he split that one, didn't he?
Perfect. 10 points off turnover from Moeller. Those the biggest 3 after the pick, and the pressure came from Galvin. Rodenberg loves it. Oh, yeah. Not much emotion yet. St. X sideline not quite so excited. 6 plays, 23 yards, 2:25 off the clock after the interception. And a 23-yard field goal, the biggest of Corey Smith's young career.
Still a little under 2 minutes for the Bombers. They still got plenty of time.
Ian Cummins and Kyle Lyons will be back to receive this one from McAlpin. Each team with 2 timeouts, 1:52 on the clock. And we have had a defensive battle here tonight with a bunch of mistakes. Who can overcome their mistakes more has been the key in this one.
The number of penalties is just mind-blowing. Penalty after penalty.
27 penalties on the night. over 270 yards. Lions finding some room. Dragged down across the 30. Good field position, taken down by Ian Hundley with 1:44 left on the clock. So plenty of time for the Bombers to do some damage. Down by 3.
You almost got that corner. Remember we talked about Tony Harris last week. What?
And yet they kicked deep and made the sure tackle. 33-yard line. First and 10 for Joe O'Toole. Coming back after the interception. Will throw, has a man, flagged down on the field, thrown inside the 40. Ugumbala, the intended receiver. And the flag came in from the sideline deep.
You got 33 whites, correct?
Oh,
you got 33 whites. We have holding on the defense. 10-yard penalty. First down.
And he's yelling 33 wide. He's either got Williford at 23 or McAlpin at 32. And McAlpin is over here on the sideline. Let's go ahead down on the field. Dave Levin Jr.
Hey guys, just a reminder, when today started, there were 3 teams vying for one playoff spot: Sycamore, Moeller, and St. X. Then Don Brosco Prep went to Ridgewood and won 51-7, which made this game, these 2 teams, one of them's going to the playoffs, and it's the winner tonight.
Picked off again. A tip pick, and Ben Schneider's coming back the other way. And the Moeller Crusaders have the ball and the hammer with 1:28 to go.
Ben Schneider.
Wow.
Big across the middle.
O'Toole had him wide open. I think we have to take another look, but I think he was open.
Kuechly was open.
Yep, the ball
hit him in the right hand. He
Ben
threw it
Schneider right there to make the interception. Let's take a look right here. O'Toole going back. Good protection. He steps up. He threw it over Kendall Walker, the linebacker, and off the hand of Kuechly into the hands of Schneider.
And the big play for Ben Schneider. Nothing runs like a deer. Our great play of the game with 1:28 to go. O'Toole picked off in back-to-back possessions. And only 2 timeouts remaining for the Bombers. Aubin will be taken down right at the line of scrimmage. Doug Golan right there.
Doug Golan on the defensive hit. Second
The clock
and 10.
continues to tick. They can only stop it one more time. You hear the yell from the sideline of St. X, stay focused. And Moeller will take as much time as they possibly can before going to the line. Hendricks. Handoff again, Aubin, and he's got a little bit of room. They'll take it down inside the 40-yard line. A 5-yard pickup. They'll call timeout now. Have 1 remaining with 48 seconds left. Kuechly and Golan again on the tackle. Ball players, coaches, band members going to be receiving a copy of tonight's game courtesy of your local Grange Insurance agents. Additional copies may be purchased at www.gametapes.com. Well, it all comes down to this. The turnovers have been key. Moeller cashed in 10 of their points off turnovers. 3rd down and 6. Ball at the 40-yard line. And off straight through. Aubin won't get there. And they will stop the clock again with 44 seconds remaining. And it will be a punting situation for the Crusaders. Kuechly, 1 more stop to add to his total.
Stephen Daniels, Luke Kuechly on the defensive hit for St. Xavier.
Bombers out of timeouts. And will indeed have to get a big play, if not several big plays, to get back into field goal range for Danny Frutiger. Steve Speck working on his game plan. Moeller came in 11th in the Harbin ratings into this week. St. X 12. And with the points they gather playing each other,
Enough with a win to jump into the final spot.
Well, the one thing Xavier has here, they don't have to score a touchdown. All they need is a field goal to take it into overtime. So Moeller's got to punt this ball away and make sure they cover it. But see if St. X comes after this one. They have everybody up on the line of scrimmage.
Adam Schaefer to let this one go, and they will come after it. Nobody back deep. And they're coming. And he gets it away in a hurry. And a good one. And the coverage is there, and it will take a Crusader bounce sideways inside the 10-yard line. They'll let it roll down inside the 9 with 33 seconds remaining.
At the 9-yard line.
99 yards left to go.
Correction, at the 8-yard line first, and 10 Bombers from the 8.
They'll mark it at the 8. And something special will have to come from Joe O'Toole and company, who's been picked off on consecutive drives.
Make sure they account for number 56, Galvin.
2 wide each side for O'Toole. Drops to the goal line, has time. Dump it short across the 15 and out of bounds with 27 seconds left to Andrew Veer.
Andrew Veer
Hundley on the stop.
Joe O'Toole out to the 18-yard line.
Not enough time to do many of those there. You're going to have to take it downfield.
That's a pickup of 10. You guys might want to move the chains. I don't know how you could possibly call that second down when the ball was inside the 8-yard line and it's now across the 18, but they sure enough do.
Wow.
Second down and -1 apparently. O'Toole. Will throw again to Veer. And Veer looking for the sideline. Can he get out? Ball being dragged. No, the clock continues to run. No timeouts left. They do stop the clock for the first down with 16 seconds to go.
At the 25-yard line.
O'Toole again throws the ball, but he's hit once again by Galvin. Wow. Tell you what, Nick Galvin.
And he will spike it on first down with 15 seconds remaining.
Second and 10 for the Bombers.
15 seconds remaining. Moeller up 17-14. Steve Speck trying to find some way to get into field goal range. And you have to have one big play to get it done and get out of bounds. Veer in motion. O'Toole under pressure, throws, middle of the field, and it is almost caught! Tipped, and then off Grumbala's hands. He had it to Holker. Holker tipped it to Grumbala, and Grumbala had room to run, and he couldn't hold on.
He had plenty of room to run after that. Well, I tell you what, you see it right here, good protection. Right here, O'Toole steps up. He throws it, deflected there by Holker, and Grumbala just drops it. You have the defense going to his right, and he had plenty of room to run after he makes that catch.
Third down and 10, 9 seconds remain under pressure, and he has to dump it. Incomplete with 4 seconds to go, and it was Marcus Rush who was all over him this time. And you're up for a Hail Mary and a Cal Stanford after this.
Exactly. Catch it and start pitching it and try to find something to happen, because 4 seconds left. The Moeller defense is a good 30 yards back right now. Where's the band?
Final play of the game. 4 seconds remain. O'Toole to heave. And he won't get the chance to heave because Stephen Powell will take him down, and the Crusaders are moving on to the playoffs. They come into St. X's place and take them down 17-14 for the final Division I playoff spot.
Exciting finish. Tell you what, this fourth quarter was plenty excitement.
John Rodenberg has his Crusaders back in the playoffs, and their first win over St. X since they beat them in the playoffs in 2004. And how sweet it is to come in, and we talked about it last week. They came in and were 15 seconds away from having no chance at a playoff spot before Tony Harris took back a kickoff to beat St. Ed's last week.
And they were 7 down today. Offense not doing a whole lot. They get a couple turnovers, few sparks, they get it. Galvin makes a big hit on the quarterback, forcing an interception.
One more look at the winning points on a 4th and inches. Corey Smith from 23 yards out drills it and drills the Crusaders into the playoffs.